Let's get back to our first game at Old Trafford, and Alan Green and Chris Waddle can join in the conversation along with Andy Dunn and Lee Dixon. Alan, interesting that Liverpool have played twice since United's last game. That can make a difference.
Yes, and they were both must-win games for Liverpool. Sitting here last Sunday for the Fulham game, I thought that the 3 games that Liverpool had coming up in the 7 days, it wouldn't make their season, but it would certainly break it if they were poor results. Now, they beat Portsmouth emphatically. I thought they played very well against Lille, who are certainly a decent French side. But this obviously is the biggest game of the 3. Not in terms of Liverpool thinking about the title. They can't possibly think about the title. But in terms of their self-regard and how the fans to my right are thinking about this season. It wouldn't make it a great season for Liverpool. That's impossible. There's been too many disappointments, Colin. But I think it would help ease the burden and the blow if they were to get something out of today's game. It's the other thing about it, I find it always very difficult to call. Really hard to call. Yeah. I mean, I was sitting here last season for this match. I think Chris was doing the game as well, weren't you, Chris? Yeah. And I couldn't have seen Liverpool winning 4-1. No. Not a chance of that happening.
Especially when they went 1-0 down.
Yeah, but I don't see them winning here today either. But it's just one of those funny fixtures. Chris, do you agree with me?
Well, it's for all they're not in the same sort of. It's not Manchester City v Man United, which is you call it. This is the biggest game between.
It's the biggest game. Full stop.
By far. So there's a lot of bragging rights at stake between the two, as you say. You wish it was more friendly, but it's not. There's a lot of hatred, you've got to say, and it's a massive result for the fans. But everything goes out the window when these play each other for me. It's who's up for it on the day, and who's, I've got to say, the last 2 halves, so Liverpool have been sort of more up for it. It's like they've been like a cup final to them, where Man United have come out and thought we'll just play with football, and they haven't really put this team under pressure.
2 fantastic strikers. Fernando Torres, 4 goals in the 2 games, the 2 wins as well, 2 straight wins for Liverpool is looking sharp. And we always mention how Wayne Rooney could be the best player in the world at the moment, but it's interesting to look at his record against Merseyside clubs. He scored only once in 11 games against Liverpool and only 1 in 9 against Everton. Lee Dixon, we mentioned earlier about this sort of Vidic's head sitting in the dressing room with 3 sending offs. Young Wayne's aware of these stats?
I'm sure he is. I'm sure his Liverpool mates have told him, or whoever, if he's got any Liverpool mates, will have told him them stats. But the thing is, with him, all the players, I don't see him as a normal sort of player. I think he's the type of player who could quite easily go out and score a hat-trick today just to prove everybody wrong. He's in such great form that it'll spur him on to a performance. I think he's just absolutely outstanding at the moment.
But sorry, go ahead, Alan.
Stats for Rooney? Yeah. I mean, so what? Yeah. So what? As if he'd care.
Well, you say that, Alan. I mean, Ian Rush, who was one of the greatest strikers of all time, couldn't score against United. He managed it just once. There are hoodoo teams. There are teams that you just never get it right against.
I think what you got to look at, though, the difference is with Wayne Rooney this year and probably the previous 2 or 3, he's always basically ran everywhere. He played on the left a lot last year. He was a second striker. He was letting Ronaldo obviously go further forward. He'd fill in everywhere. Now, this season, he's playing for more advanced. He's playing as the out-and-out striker. Even if Berbatov plays, Rooney plays ahead of Berbatov now, ahead on top of the centre-halves. He's in the box now. He's looking for goals. And it's the first year probably since he's been at this club, he's been told, or he's allowed, if he's asked to play that role, but he's actually doing it. And that is why today, for me, I'm a bit like Alan. You might have a bogey team, but Wayne Rooney in the past has always playing a withdrawn role, more of a team player. This time he's playing more as an out-and-out centre forward. So for me, the stats, what's previously happened, go out the window today.
And we talk about the dislike between the fans. Wayne Rooney came out before the last game, made it very clear, and all the respect in the world for him. This is the team I do want to score against most.
Yeah, well, of course. Well, I mean, he's got 2 reasons. One, he plays for Manchester United, and secondly, he's a very, very, very passionate Evertonian fan. So I mean, that's why. That's why, by the way, I think he might have some problems scoring against Everton. I don't think he ever feels that comfortable playing against them. But you know what we talk about Rooney, we talk about Torres. It's not just going to pivot around these guys, this game. I think Liverpool looks a balanced side today. And one guy we haven't mentioned the entire programme is Glenn Johnson, and I think his return to the Liverpool side just gives it a real sense of balance, and I think that is what could prove crucial today.
And better crosses.
Andy, I think that Johnson's presence back in the team, given that he's not so clever defensively, dictated that Kuyt played. Even though I think Kuyt's had a stinker of a season and continues to do so, but he does work, and he will cover for Johnson when Johnson will be far more of an attacking threat down that Liverpool right flank. And also Kuyt will be a counterbalance to one of, I think, United's chief attacking threats in this sort of lineup, Patrice Evra, who's wonderful going forward. So that you're absolutely right. There are key players elsewhere other than the strikers, but pre-match, I think naturally we look at strikers and think their goals are going to
I think a big part will be the form of Valencia. He's been on fire the last 6 weeks, and I've got to say I've seen him play 2 or 3 games, especially away from home, and Zogbia got the far best of them against them at Wigan, and I'm sure today the form Valencia's in, he'll be encouraged to get up very much so at Insua, who is still learning his trade, and it's been a hard season for him. And I think that could have a massive part in this game today.
We'll be back to you very shortly. I'm going to let Lee and Andy go. Thank you very much. And we're all in agreement, just very briefly then, that we love this game because we're not sure what's going to happen. 2 times a year, we don't know. There's no point saying it's going to be 1-0 this way or 2-1 the other.
As usual, you've said it all.
Oh, thank you very much. Lovely. We'll be back at Old Trafford in just a second. Our first commentary game live on BBC Radio 5 Live, and what is a huge Sunday of sport. You'll get your League Cup final between Rangers and St Mirren and 5 Live Sports Extra. That kicks off at 3 o'clock. We'll be at Ewood Park for Blackburn Rovers against Chelsea at 4, and it's Man U against Liverpool after your latest news with Tamsin Kerner.
Online at bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The leader of the union representing BA cabin crew has appealed to the airline to resolve the dispute over pay and working conditions. It's the second day of a walkout by staff. Unite leader Tony Woodley says BA's chairman and board should use their influence so a solution can be found. The former Labour Cabinet Minister Stephen Byers has denied doing anything wrong after being filmed apparently offering to try to influence government policy for money. He was secretly recorded in a joint investigation by Channel 4 and the Sunday Times. Labour and the Conservatives say they now want stricter rules for political lobbyists. A 4-year-old girl from Nottingham has died after being hit by a car on Daytona Beach in Florida. It's understood the girl was on holiday with her family at the time. The Chancellor Alistair Darling has ruled out any giveaways in this week's budget, saying the public want to see responsible measures. He's also said there won't be a rise in VAT. Ceremonies are taking place in South Africa to mark the 50th anniversary of the Sharpeville massacre. 69 people died when police shot at black demonstrators protesting against having to carry passbooks, which restricted their movement in white areas. Travel now, Orna Merchant.
Thank you, Tamsin. Rising Bridge in Lancashire, the A56, the Haslington bypass has had to be closed off. It's all because of an accident which involved several vehicles. The M60 on the anti-clockwise side now, still queuing. It's because of the match at Old Trafford, still very heavy. Junction 15, that's Swinton, the interchange between there and Junction 14, also looking heavy for you. The A56, that's Chester Road, the northbound side looking very slow. And Regent Road, the A57, queuing between the Mancunian Way and the M602, that's at Junction 3. The M20 remains closed on the coastbound side, junctions 8 to 9, and that's because of the earlier overturned vehicle. Orna Merchant, 5 Live Travel.
5 Live Sport.
The Premier League.
Man United take on Liverpool.
And Liverpool in their gold shorts and black away kits. Manchester United in the obvious red and white. They're in the tunnel. The mascots are ready. And as yet, Gary Neville and Steven Gerrard have not exchanged a single look. It's like a couple after they've just broke up. I mentioned earlier about next Saturday's fans forum in Manchester. I should also say 5 Live will be in Liverpool next month during Grand National Week. A number of our shows will be up there at the Art and Design Academy at Liverpool John Moores University. I have some great nights up there. You can be in the audience. The programmes include a lunchtime debate on April 9th with Mark Pugac. We'll be doing a live fight and talk as well until April 10th. If you go to bbc.co.uk/5 Live, you can get all the details of how you can apply for your free tickets to be part of your station. BBC Radio 5 Live is in Liverpool during Grand National Week. Well, listen, even Sue Barker could not tell you what is going to happen next. We're at Old Trafford for Manchester United against Liverpool, and we'll have every single minute of it for you. Let's head straight to our commentary team. It's Mike Ingham, it's Chris Waddle, and as the teams leave the tunnel, it's Alan Green.
Thank you very much indeed, Colin. Old Trafford is full, of course, it always is, but this is the biggest fixture of the season here. Manchester United and Liverpool, there's nothing bigger in English football than this. And of course there's a fantastic atmosphere as the two teams emerge from the tunnel and walk out onto the pitch. Just one thing, a little cameo that to me sums up everything that is wrong about this game. We're getting television pictures of a small monitor in front of us, and a moment or so ago it focused on a little boy, and he must have been no more than 4 or 5 years of age, and he made a very clear gesture with a single finger pointing in an upward direction. We all know what that gesture is. It's pitiful, absolutely pitiful, and I'm not going to identify which of the two clubs he supports because I'm sure it's replicated at the other end. Shocking. And the father who allows that to happen should be ashamed of himself. Anyway, let's get on with the football now and hope that the quality of the game matches the expectation of the game. Gary Neville, captain of Manchester United, now shakes Steven Gerrard's hand. There wasn't too much of a glance there, but then he didn't say a word to his brother Phil Neville when he was at Goodison recently. That's just in the nature of these mammoth occasions. The two teams, Manchester United first of all, one alteration, Berbatov left out, as he so frequently is for the big game. Park comes in, the goalkeepers Van der Sar, the defenders Neville, Ferdinand, Vidic and Evra. A five-man midfield, Valencia, Carrick, Fletcher, Park and Nani. Though of course you'd expect Valencia and Nani to push forward in support of Wayne Rooney, the striker. Liverpool's goalkeeper is Reina. Defenders Johnson, Carragher, Aguirre and Insua. Two holding midfield players, Lucas and Mascherano. Then three, Kaut, Gerrard, Maxi Rodriguez and finally Torres. Some significant names on the two benches. For Manchester United, Giggs is back, available after the broken arm, but he's only sub like Scholes, like Berbatov. And Aquilani, who allegedly missed the game in midweek because of a virus, is, quote, well again, but only on the bench. And so too is Babel. Would you have played Babel, Chris?
I would have played Babel today, especially against Gary Neville. A lot of talk about Gary Neville at the moment, about getting back in the England squad and whatever, but I saw him against Jarvis at Wolves, and Jarvis had a very good day against them. And I think the speed and the trickery of Babel would have been a big threat for Liverpool today. I'm surprised he's gone for Rodriguez, who is more of a workman-like midfield player, left-sided, compared to Babel.
Agreed. They're now going to meet on the halfway line, Gerrard and Neville. The referee is Hard Webb. A lot of responsibility for Hard Webb today. Hasn't shown too much reluctance to send players off if need be. And there's just so much tension about this game, Chris. You always think it invites mistimed tackles.
Well, the rivalry's there. The atmosphere is electric as you expect, and everybody's looking forward to it. And it's how's Howard Webb? He's under scrutiny. He obviously wants to get the games in the World Cup, and he's got to get his decisions right. I've seen him recently on a few he's ducked, and he's got to get these decisions right because people are looking at him, and depending on how he goes in the season, how many games will he get in the World Cup? So it's a big game for Howard Webb as well.
Well, I think Neville may have won the toss because he's chosen to defend the Stretford end. In the first half, it will be Liverpool who will kick off. Manchester United in their red shirts, white shorts, black socks. Liverpool in black tops and light gold shorts and socks. So we're ready for one of the occasions of the season. Doesn't really matter where the teams are placed in the Premier League, as it is Manchester United will go back on top above Arsenal if they win. Liverpool can only remain in fifth. Torres and Gerrard, critical for the Merseyside club's hopes this afternoon. They'll kick us off as Hard Webb blows his whistle immediately. Valencia rushes over the halfway line, told to retreat by Hard Webb, and Liverpool kick off. And it's played immediately towards Kaut down the Liverpool right and cleared by Vidic, running all the way through to Carragher, and Carragher back to Reina. Reina with a rather flat-footed clearance, met by Carrick. Carrick hits it high, but Park is beaten in the air, and here's Johnson on the far side of the field. Johnson clips it down the right touchline. It's still in play. Here's Mascherano heading the ball on, but straight to Fletcher, and now it's with Nani on the far side of the field. Nani tackled, and it's out off a Liverpool player. I think it was Lucas. Throw in to Manchester United. In the sunshine here at Old Trafford, it's a glorious day. It does feel like spring, belatedly. The throw goes to Rooney. Rooney's header only finds Maxi Rodriguez, and Liverpool clear. It's with Kite chipping the ball to Rodriguez, but Carrick wanted it more. Carrick clips it into the air. Johnson heads it back. Fletcher heads it on. Here's Nani to Fletcher again, under pressure from Gerrard. Fletcher does well, then another Liverpool challenge comes in. Referee spotted a foul tackle and didn't see that, but anyway, it's a United free kick and it's taken rapidly. And now it's with Valencia, and Insua makes an early challenge. Ball's kept in play by Neville. Onto Carrick and Rooney. Lucas slipped. Fletcher's the ball. Fletcher whips it in the direction of Nani, but it was hit straight to Johnson, and Johnson clears it to Kite. Lucas onto Gerrard. That's a good ball from Lucas. And well, was Torres fouled off the ball by Ferdinand? No, says Hardwell.
Well, I didn't see anything, but already in it, Liverpool, they're sitting quite deep. Man United's trying to up the tempo from the off. They're playing Park basically as a centre forward. He's not playing in the midfield role. Carrick and Fletcher are playing. If you look at Park, he's playing probably what Wayne Rooney used to play last season, off Berbatov, off the striker.
Well, Liverpool thought they got a free kick there, but the linesman had flagged for offside, so it's United's free kick. Torres is bemused, but I think they got it right. And here's Rooney running forward, running straight into Mascherano, who clears to Lucas, and Lucas with the overhead kick onto the chest of Gerrard, being booed. Now that would be strange for Gerrard at Old Trafford. Gerrard again on the far side of the field. Good ball in field to Lucas, and on to Kite. This is good build-up from Liverpool. Kite approaching the penalty here, chips it towards Maxi Rodriguez. I think it's gone beyond the Argentine, and out of play for the throw-in.
Wrong selection, as he couldn't say there, Kite. For me, Lucas made a terrific run. He could have played it into his feet around the edge of the box, and maybe got it back on a 1-2. He's tried a cross-field pass, and overhit it. Maxi Rodriguez could not keep that in.
Right, ball's on the halfway line with Insua, and then chipped towards Torres. Torres in the volleyed pass back to Rodriguez, and now Lucas, frequently maligned at Anfield, but he's been playing quite well of late, the young Brazilian, and the tendency is to forget that he is a young Brazilian. Gerrard on to Rodriguez, but it's cleared by Manchester United. Then on to Kite for Liverpool. His touch poor, cleared by United, again not well cleared, but Lucas's header rushes through to Van der Sar.
That's a little bit scrappy at the minute. I can't believe how many times the ball drops and Man United have just hit it forward. Not trying to pick players out, just help it forward, just punch it down the field.
United have scored 26 goals in the last 7 league games at Old Trafford, so they're bang on form, particularly at home, and they're clearly out for revenge for what happened not just here last season, but in October at Anfield. Valencia, who could be a key man, finding Fletcher. Back to Everett. Everett chips it forward. Nani was half watching Johnson, took his eye off the ball. Liverpool have it, and it's cleared by Carragher over the halfway line. Gerrard pushed up alongside Torres, but it's cleared by the head of Vidic. And here's Fletcher on the far side of the field. Important for United that their midfield takes control of the game. Back it goes to Carrick, and on now to Rooney, being hustled there by Agger. Rooney turns, slips the ball through. This is promising. Fletcher back, might fall to Rooney, doesn't fall to Rooney. Took a kind deflection for Liverpool, and Mascherano should clear it.
Wonderful play by Rooney, just on the edge of the D, wasn't it, releasing him, but the truth was Park was too deep. He was watching Rooney instead of gambling and going in the box. When Rooney comes out of the box, Park's got to become the second striker and get in the box.
Benitez in the technical area, out, obvious, and no doubt the subject of the odd word or two from the Manchester United fans behind him. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0, the first 5 minutes of the game here at Old Trafford. Here's Torres with a back heel pass to Gerrard. Kite's in a great position. Gerrard hasn't found him yet with the pass. Now he does. The Dutchman gets to the ball, pulls the cross back. Torres with a header, 1-0 Liverpool. Such a simple move, brilliantly executed by Fernando Torres. 5 goals for him in a week.
Now I've got to say, you've got to point the finger, it's a real Ferdinand. He let Gerrard stroll past him as if he wasn't there. He's got his time of his tackle wrong. He just let him walk past him. It was a simple ball to Kite, and nobody's picking up Torres as the ball comes in. It's just a simple header from 6 yards. It's a good header. It's in the roof of the net. Van der Sar, no chance. Rio Ferdinand got so much caught out by Steven Gerrard, and it's a simple header. Nobody within 2 yards of him.
And there were 4 defenders around Torres, none of them actually marking the Liverpool striker. Neville was ball watching. Torres just moved in front of him, climbed brilliantly, headed brilliantly, 1-0 Liverpool. Well, this time last year it was Manchester United who took the lead, a penalty, and then Liverpool were the ones that came back. Will United do the reverse today? Free kick to Manchester United, 35 yards from goal. United attacking the end to our right, behind which, certainly in this near right-hand corner, there is considerable jubilation from Liverpool fans. 6 minutes gone at Old Trafford. Liverpool ahead through Torres. Now the free kick is going to be taken by Nani, right-footed, in towards Rooney, headed away well by Carragher, headed back in there. Lucas heads it clear. Rodriguez takes it on his chest and then lifts the clearance hurriedly over the halfway line, where it bounces to Evra.
All you can say, it's good for the game, Alan. It's going to make Man United try and press attack more. But Liverpool so far defended very well, very deep. And Gerrard just floating around in that role, and they're looking to hit on the counter-attack. There's no doubt about they're playing very deep, Liverpool.
Here's Rodriguez to Kuyt, whose cross delivered the goal for Torres. Now Johnson, back to Lucas, and on to Kuyt on the far side of the field. Lucas aiming to find the England right back, but got the pass wrong and it's cleared. And then Rooney is clattered into by Carragher, and the referee says that's a free kick. Just looked like a hard tackle, that's all.
Well, he's actually come and won the ball, but Wayne Rooney caught him on the side. Wayne Rooney's had strong words with Howard Webb about the challenge, but Jamie Carragher's standing behind Wayne Rooney, saying I've never touched it.
I thought he'd taken the ball.
It's a good tackle.
He took the ball. It's a good tackle. I think Hardweb's gone backwards this season, actually. Do you know something? I know he's our World Cup referee, but I'm not absolutely convinced by his form in this current campaign. Nearly 8 minutes played here on 5 Live. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 1. Plenty of time, though, for the champions to respond. Vidic into Fletcher. And Fletcher on to Rooney. Carragher was nearby. Rooney's time to turn, though, and then plays it forward. It hits Carragher. Rooney has it again, still going, shoots wide of goal. And now Mascherano's complaining to Hardweb that Rooney left his foot up.
Well, I just saw the replay. I thought it was a fair challenge. I didn't think he had a high foot at all. Mascherano was having a go at the referee about it.
Well, I thought, that we were supposed to let only the captains talk to the referee.
Not the game.
It's up to the referee to enforce that kind of thing. It's not up to Mascherano or Rooney to run the game. Reina with the goal kick for Liverpool, headed on by Kuyt to the goal scorer Torres. Great control by Torres, and then leaves it for Kuyt. There's no Liverpool player in the United penalty area as yet. Kuyt holds up the ball, finds Torres. Now there are 2 targets. Torres slips the ball through the legs of Vidic. Vidic gets in a tackle. Is it a corner? Well, the linesman didn't have a clue, the referee didn't have a clue, and ultimately they've decided to give a corner.
No, I think Howard Webb's just looking at the linesman, and wherever he put his flag, he's agreed with him.
Well, you'd have to see a replay for that. My initial feeling, to be honest, was that it was a corner. But anyway, Liverpool take that corner. And now it's chipped into the penalty area to Kuyt. Here's Gerrard again. Gerrard took his offside flag.
Kuyt was offside. Nice work corner. Gerrard into Kuyt. He just straight offside. As the ball got played up the field to Gerrard, they just stepped up Liverpool. Kuyt was a couple of yards offside.
Liverpool have beaten United. Not that I want for stats, because I think I'd make that obvious, but on the last 3 league meetings. And they're ahead here at Old Trafford. 10 minutes played. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 1. We haven't seen Sir Alex yet, or Mike Phelan for that matter, but Benitez is very obvious in the technical area. Valencia backheels the ball, but only to Agger, who swiftly clears it upfield. And it's taken on the chest by Ferdinand. And then Ferdinand guides it in the direction of Insua. I wouldn't be surprised if they're targeting the Liverpool left back. Valencia, great run forward. Mascherano brings him down to penalty. No, I don't think it's a red card, because they were covering Liverpool defenders. It's a yellow card for Mascherano.
Well, I've got to say, Alan, he got the wrong side. It was a terrible header by Insua. He should have punched it back up the field. He didn't have to head it down to Mascherano. He should have just punched it back up the field. But Valencia had terrific change of pace. Mascherano couldn't live with him.
Now just look at Gary Neville. He's having a fit for some reason. What, does he want the player sent off? I mean, it's a yellow card and a penalty. Yeah. There were other Liverpool defenders there.
He's just got too much pace for Mascherano. He's pulling away.
And Ferguson's out now. I don't know what the gripe is.
Well, they're probably
It's a
saying
penalty.
a goal scoring opportunity.
Ager's having... look, what did I tell you about this fixture? Goodness gracious, the atmosphere is evil. Anyway, Wayne Rooney. 13 goals in 7 games here at Old Trafford. And this to bring United level at 1-1.
I think Wayne Rooney's saying somebody's run across the penalty spot and they started kicking it and digging it up. Was it Torres? Torres has went to the penalty spot when everyone was arguing and he started kicking the penalty spot up.
All right. Rooney to make it 1-1. We're ready. Here he comes, right-footed, and it's saved brilliantly, and then Rooney with a follow-up makes it 1-1. Saved by Reina, but Rooney with the rebound. Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1.
Well, it's a fantastic penalty save by Pepe Reina, probably one of the best in the world. It's a terrific save. Well, unfortunately for Reina and Liverpool, it comes back to the feet of Wayne Rooney. You don't ask him twice. This time, nice side foot into the net. And I think he enjoyed that.
Look at Sir Alex Ferguson shouting towards Hardware.
I think he wanted a red card. Simple as that.
Well, Reina was very unlucky because it was a great save.
He's a fantastic penalty saver, and unfortunately for him, it's come back to Rooney.
Look at Ferguson. Ridiculous. Get back in your cage, Sir Alex. Look, he's indicating, the card. And now Benitez has come across to the fourth official. Ferguson's having a go at Benitez. Not good enough for a Knight of the Realm. Well, I'd have sent him to the stands. After that, he's having a go at the linesman now. Not good enough.
Well, Benitez is saying to the fourth official, Marinat, he can't get away with what he's doing.
Actually, despite the fact that Benitez is now getting abuse from Manchester United fans, I'm afraid Sir Alex Ferguson's behaviour was totally unacceptable. Not for the first time. 13 pretty tempestuous minutes played here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1. It was unquestionably a penalty, but Carragher was certainly across there when Mascherano pulled Valencia down.
I think everybody looks for every advantage, Alan, and that's the way the wind show. That's how Alex Ferguson's won a lot. He's so passionate about the game. Whether you think it's right or he just kicks every ball, doesn't he?
Throw into Liverpool on the far side of the field. 13 minutes gone. 1-1. Throw goes to Gerrard. On to Kuyt. Back to Gerrard. Flicked in towards the penalty area. Ferdinand, a little uncertainly at first, managed to get the clearance in. Here's Rooney, scorer of the penalty. Just his 33rd goal of the season. Some fantastic record from Wayne Rooney. Here's Valencia, whose run provoked the foul challenge. And it was obvious they were going to target Insua with Valencia. It doesn't take a brilliant football tactician to know that.
It's a ball by Rio Ferdinand, clipped down the lane. He's just got to punch it back up the lane to Rodriguez, who's on the halfway. He don't need to head it down in an area like that. Valencia gambled, got his reward.
Well, we've got a throw in on the far side of the field. Or is it a free kick to Liverpool? It's a free kick to Liverpool. Johnson takes it to Carragher. And now to Ager. Ager, 20 yards or so short of the halfway line. Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1 here on 5 Live. Ager's chip upfield was overhit. Ferdinand finds Neville. And back to Ferdinand again. And that's a good pass to Michael Carrick. Carrick on to Rooney. Why is he wearing gloves? And the pass intended for Nani was overhit, and it's through to Reina.
Well, Nani ran, didn't he, and then changed direction. But by the time Rooney had saw it, he played it too early. Nani changed direction. I would think he's wearing gloves because of the superstition he's scoring all the time.
Yeah, that probably is correct. But it's a lovely afternoon here in Manchester, and that's a lovely header by Gerrard to Maxi Rodriguez. Lots of red shirts around the Argentine. So he turns it back and plays it to another Argentine and to another one. It went to Insua first, then to Mascherano, and now a Brazilian, Lucas, on to Kuyt. Lucas again, quarter of an hour played. Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1. Kuyt is having quite a good game at the moment, and as soon as I said that, he chips the ball out of play.
Well, he can't fault his work rate there, Cop, but he definitely doesn't believe in his ability. He's lost a lot of confidence on the ball, hasn't he? He's given it away cheaply twice, 3 times already. But he did make the goal.
Evra with a throw in on the far side for the champions. Johnson gets there before his England colleague Rooney, and it's out to play for another throw in. They've moved about 10 yards down that far touchline. The left from Manchester United in this first half. Evra once more will take it. And I think Rooney gets on really well off the field with Gerrard and Carragher. They are rich Scousers in every sense of the word, but when they're playing against each other, boom, Valencia. Back to Neville, who hates everything Scouse. His own words. Carrick to Park. Park does well, holding off Agger. Plays it back to Fletcher. Evra's on the attack on the far side. Pass was slightly underhit, but it reaches the French fullback. Evra now midway inside the Liverpool half. Back to Fletcher, and Fletcher being hustled by Lucas, only funnels it back to Vidic and to Ferdinand. And Vidic. Notice now they're Vidic nor Ferdinand are coming across the halfway line. They're clearly worried about Torres. That was a poor pass forward by Vidic. Liverpool have it again. It's with Agger. And Agger, a simple pass to Rodriguez, who held off Gary Neville. Finds Insua. Back to Agger. Onto Mascherano. And Liverpool, having conceded the equaliser, have sort of settled down again. Johnson on the far side. To Kaut. Kaut back to Johnson. 17 minutes played on 5 Live. And now Carragher, challenged by Rooney, but get the ball upfield towards Torres. Torres not fouled, according to the referee. Play continues, and now it's poor from Carrick. Intercepted by Insua, who's over the halfway line. Torres wants it played early, and it's played towards the Spaniard. Vidic is there. Good work by Vidic. Heading the ball firmly clear, firmly away to safety, and Nani on the far side. Into Evra. Evra now approaching the halfway line, and just moves temporarily into the centre circle, finding Carrick with a pass on to Valencia. Valencia's ball in field, intercepted by Mascherano, and here's Rodriguez to Lucas. Counts an obvious outlet on the far side, and it goes to the Dutchman. On now to Gerrard, into Torres. Torres in the penalty area, out quickly Van der Sar. Good goalkeeping.
Oh, he's not out there.
Oh, and what's he at? Oh, he's moaning about Torres challenging for the ball.
He's talking about his trailing foot. I don't think he caught him, but it's just another warning to wound the referee up and to try and get a slight advantage. But there's a lot of simple football in midfield, but you've got to say, once they've got over the halfway line, both teams, they are struggling to find that little bit of quality.
Van der Sar with the clearance to Neville. I don't think he had anything to gripe about there at all, Van der Sar. But it's in the nature of this fixture, unfortunately. Neville to Fletcher. Nearly 19 minutes played. Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1 on 5 Live. Valencia into Fletcher. 10 yards over the halfway line. Back to Carrick in the centre circle. And quickly fed to Evra on the far side. The United left. To Nani. Nani immediately confronted by Johnson. Hustled into a mistake. Just playing the ball to Carragher. And Carragher hitting it long. Looking for a mistake by Neville. He was barged in the back by Torres. Definitely a free kick.
Yeah. Torres doesn't need to do it, does he? I mean, Torres is very wound up for this game, and I just think that he's got the pace. Gary Neville's going nowhere. He's got the pace to put him under pressure. He's just going to kick it out and throw in. He doesn't need to foul.
Free kick is taken, and now it's with Carrick. There's been no shortage of incident. Liverpool taking the lead through a Torres header, and United equalising through a Rooney penalty after Mascherano, who was yellow carded, fouled Valencia. Here's Vidic on the halfway line, left of the centre circle, to Evra. Evra was surely brought down there by Kuyt. Advantage play, good refereeing by Howard Webb. In it goes to Park. Park didn't pick up possession as he should have done, and it's cleared by Liverpool out of play on the halfway line.
A good advantage by Howard Webb to let Evra continue, wasn't it? Park just didn't be aware that Lucas was behind him.
The ball is now back with Edwin van der Sar, and he leaves it to Ferdinand, and Benitez hand gesture is cool it. You could have said that to Sir Alex. Now Rodriguez just clipped there by Carrick. Nothing too serious. Liverpool free kick. Rodriguez making a bit of a mountain out of a molehill there.
Yeah, I think so. I just saw the replay. It was hardly a touch.
I know. Free kick, that's all. Get up and get on with it. Agger's going to take it. It's a yard or two short of the halfway line. Just taps it to Lucas. Back to Agger. And on to Lucas again. And Liverpool almost wasted that free kick. But finally it's with Agger again. to Gerrard, into Lucas, back to Gerrard. Gerrard leading Liverpool, and they're well set up today, Liverpool. They know the roles. This is a sort of Benitez tactical class. Now Kuyt feeding it to the goal scorer Torres. You get there before Vidic. Vidic hesitated. Ball crossed into the penalty area and knocked behind by Ferdinand for a corner.
He actually played it away with his knee, didn't he? He couldn't decide what to clear out with. He's hit it with his right thigh out. And again, a promising attack.
Corner to Liverpool at the Stratford end of Old Trafford. And I'm sure there's some friendly gestures going towards Steven Gerrard as he takes this corner from the Liverpool right. Johnson's nearby. Moving the penalty area, notably by Iger. It's played in very deep. Lucas with the header on. Kuyt is there. Out comes Van der Sar. Van der Sar dropped the ball initially. Then he gathered it once more and he wants to hustle it forward quickly for Manchester United. Throws it towards Nani. Good challenge by Carragher. Fair challenge, nothing wrong with that. And now it's with Carragher again, down the left side. On the attack for Liverpool, Carragher. Approaching the penalty area, and then he sort of squirts the ball into the 6-yard box harmlessly through to Van der Sar.
Get back to centre-half quick. It was a great run, great interception on Nani. We're just looking at a bit of quality. You know, both teams, tempo's good, they're both closing each other down. Obviously a lot of respect out there between these teams, but that final third where you're looking for these players to produce, it's just not happening at the moment.
There's Neville. Back to Ferdinand. Game at walking pace, just for a few seconds. So it's a good opportunity to hand the commentary over to Mike Ingham.
Thank you, Alan. It's just another routine Manchester United-Liverpool game, isn't it? Incident every second or two here. 1-1, and Manchester United moving the ball into the Liverpool half, headed on by Rooney. Here comes Park Ji-sung, and Park plays it towards Valencia, and Insua fails to cut it out. The crowd rise in front of us as Valencia attacks the Liverpool penalty area. Insua tries to force in one. Header should have been in from Park, but it's wide. Great ball in from Valencia. Park got up well, but couldn't get it on target.
Well, I've got to say, I was expecting Valencia to have a big impact on this game today down his right-hand side against Insua. Insua, that was poor defending. He let him get at him. He didn't do a trick. He just slight feint to cross it. Allowed him to get that yard, and Park, as you say, maybe going backwards onto his heels when he headed it, but should have hit the target.
Well, I think Chris Waddle said before the game, form really goes out of the window for a game like this. This Liverpool team, who were wretched at Wigan, altogether different proposition here at Old Trafford against Manchester United, and now Insua looking to lift the ball over the United centre-backs, but Torres has just strayed offside. So if you're just joining us on 5 Live, Manchester United concede their first goal at home in the Premier League this year. The first since Agbonlahore's header back in December. It was a header from Fernando Torres, and it came inside the first 5 minutes. Manchester United equalised Rooney's 26th Premier League goal of the season, and his first at Old Trafford against Liverpool. Wasn't the cleanest of finishes after Reina made a save. In goes Fletcher, the ball. A bit of debate around the press box here, Chris, about the penalty, whether the actual first offence occurred outside the area. I'm looking forward to seeing it again at half time.
I think he did start, but hey, at the end of the day, he's pulled him, he's dragged him in, he's kept running, he's got in the box, and he thought this is the place to hit the ground. And he's tugged him outside, but he's kept a hold of him for the next 3-4 yards, and he's eventually gone down. And he's gone down in the box, getting him at the penalty. Now, a lot of people are debating, was he in a goal scoring position? He definitely would have had time to shoot. Carragher was coming across, but he definitely would have got a shot off. And that's probably why Alex Ferguson and the rest of the crowd are upset about it.
Well, Mascherano got a yellow card, and there's a yellow card now to Fernando Torres, I think. And just watching him over the last week, although he scored 5 goals now in the last 6 days, he seems to be quite agitated. He's very pumped up. He's letting things get to him that weren't getting to him last season, just showing more and more frustration. And he sort of talked his way into the book there, Torres, and he's got a yellow card. And Manchester United now with a square ball move it towards the captain Gary Neville in front of us down this near side. United 1, Liverpool 1. Long ball from Neville, looking to play it over Insua. Valencia's looking at the linesman straight away because he thought he was fouled by Insua. Nothing doing there. Mascherano's now speaking to Howard Webb, the referee. Out comes Rafa Benitez again. And again, it's never very far away from boiling point.
He was pulling his shirt slightly. There was a slight tug on the shirt. I think Valencia's just starting to size up the task of getting the better of Insua. He's starting to get the backs getting behind him now, which is the problem for Insua.
Clouded over a little bit since the start here. You're listening to 5 Live. It's the usual spicy confrontation between Manchester United and Liverpool. 1-1, Liverpool in front, United back through Rooney, now Insua, and they're certainly putting pressure on Insua. It's Agger of Liverpool moving the ball towards the halfway line. Onto Maxi Rodriguez, hasn't really been involved very much. Good ball down the line, flicked in field by Gerrard, but Gary Neville was alive, and United now look to counter-attack. Valencia's running back towards his own goal though, and Carrick is urged to give it even further back. Ferdinand has to be quick, and United playing well in the end. Tight football on the edge of their own penalty area. And now Vidic, not yet exposed in this game against Torres. The ball with Evra over on the far side. Nani back again to Evra. 1-1 at Old Trafford. Nani again. Evra's gone down off the ball. United keep the ball, so there's no need for Howard Webb to stop the game. Torres is now bundled into Fletcher. Tell me about Fernando Torres at the moment.
I've got to say, before he got the yellow card, I was going to say he's going to get booked. He's looking very...
What is it that's needling him?
I don't know. I mean, he's kicked the penalty spot up on his penalty. Yep. There's just everything in the game at the minute that's needling him. And it was going to come that, but he's got to watch himself. He's another foul and he could go.
Yellow cards, Mascherano, Torres, and now Vidic of Manchester United. Vidic now bringing the ball into the Liverpool half. Manchester United are playing from left to right here. Liverpool well in this contest though, and Vidic again. Over to Nani, little flick from infield. Rooney might get there, great tackle from Agger. United still trying to press, Liverpool looking to clear. Fletcher sweeps the ball to the far side, and it's now with Nani. Nani into the penalty area. Dangerous ball right across the face. Rooney almost flicked it on. Out comes the ever-reliable Reina with a great throw out to Steven Gerrard, the captain. Gerrard onto Lucas. Good break on now maybe for Liverpool. If they can find Kaut wide on the right, they should have done, but it's cut out by Vidic. Suddenly the game opens up a little more.
He should have played it earlier, Lucas. He had enough time. He didn't need that extra 2 touches.
Fletcher strides forward, run a long way with the ball and then cuts it to this near side of the field. Neville and Valencia both down below us. Neville's looking to see where Valencia is. Now it's Valencia. Poor first touch though from Valencia, and United go back inside their own half once more. Vidic, edge of the centre circle, down the centre, drives the ball on towards Park. Well defended though by Lucas. That's the sort of work that he gets through sometimes unnoticed during the game for Liverpool. Closing Manchester United down, and the ball's out of play for Liverpool, throwing over on the far side. Johnson's made an important return because he gives them pace down the right. He may not be the best defensively, but at least it allows Carragher to go back into central defence. Looping throw from Johnson. Torres can't claim it. In goes Fletcher, winning the ball strongly for Manchester United. And now it's pace from Nani. Liverpool backing off. They mustn't back off too far. Nani shot, driven in! Reina turns it around the post. Corner kick to Manchester United.
I've got to say, I didn't fancy him in the position was, but I saw him pulling his right foot back to shoot. I thought, you've got to go across the goal. He's trying to sneak one in the near post. Reina was alert and just got his fingertips to it, pushed it away.
28 minutes gone, first half 1-1. Nani over on the far side, the left. Vidic and Ferdinand in the penalty area. Everybody's back from Liverpool. It's a short corner into Park. Back again to Nani. Nani's ball into the near post. Torres is there with a slice clearance. It's gone a long way up in the air. Still inside the Liverpool penalty area. Liverpool looking to get it out. Gerrard, though, gives it straight back to Evra. Evra of Manchester United feeds Nani over on the far side. Back in field again to Evra. Nani once more. Nani now plays the ball. It was a poor ball to Fletcher. It played him into trouble. Liverpool looking to break. Torres all on his own though down the right hand side. First chance though to run at Nani, but he's in a wide position. Run at Vidic rather. Vidic though recovers well. And now in comes Evra with a silly challenge really. And that's a needless free kick conceded by Patrice Evra, the left back, on Fernando Torres.
No, he's to throw in. He's played the ball.
Oh, that looked like a foul from here.
No, he's played the ball with his left foot, and then he's ended up barging into Torres after it.
Afterwards, okay. Throw in taken then. Liverpool build on the edge of the area. Gerrard doesn't control it. Park trying to bring the ball down. Great defending from Carragher, and it's out of play. Helter-skelter stuff as ever. Throw into Manchester United. Well, that was the first time really we had almost a one-on-one with Torres and Vidic. Vidic is so far doing okay, and now Manchester United. Long one downfield into the Liverpool half. Carragher takes no chances against Rooney, smacks it back to the halfway line. Neatly brought down by Gerrard, and now Kaut's gone into the centre circle. Kaut looking to link with the midfield players. Mascherano slowly and smoothly onto Maxi, who's gone across to the right-hand side, trying to get more involved. Maxi Rodriguez again, back to misplaced pass to Mascherano. Rooney dispossesses Mascherano. Rooney, those tackled by Kaut, and Liverpool give it back from the halfway line once more to goalkeeper Reina.
There's been a lot of niggles and challenges going in, like it's what you're going to be talking about, isn't it? And I wouldn't say the quality's been great, I think we've handled nice little defensive situations in both teams, passed it well. But in the final third, you've got to say this game's sadly lacking in quality.
There's a terrible ball by Carragher, but Fernando Torres, who now has to play for an hour on a yellow card, really has to keep a lid on it, because if Liverpool are to win this game, they need Torres to stay out there, because psychologically he poses such a threat on the Manchester United defenders. United, the two most experienced players, Scholes and Giggs, are warming up at the moment down below. Out comes Rafa Benitez again. 1-1 here. And it's Neville of Manchester United. On to Valencia. Valencia skips in field around Insua, but Mascherano's helping out, and Mascherano feeds Count. At the moment, Count and Rodriguez have changed wings. Count is near side the Liverpool left. Mascherano slowly onto Count once more. Count jumping around the challenges from Fletcher and Carrick. Lovely ball it should be, yes it is. Straight to Rodriguez, down that right-hand side the field. Back to Johnson. Torres waiting in the area. Gerrard's on the edge of the area. Count is there too. Lucas has to stretch to receive, and now finds Maxi Rodriguez. Now they need a cross here, Liverpool. Can't get it in against Nani though, and it's a Liverpool throw in far side the right.
It's interesting how Kite and Rodriguez have swapped wings in the last 5 minutes. I just wonder that was because of the threat of Valencia. We know Kite can put a shift in defensively.
Yes, I think that's a good point. Valencia certainly has had the beating of Insua so far early on. Now Gerrard does well, finds Mascherano. Mascherano gave it with pace to Maxi Rodriguez, and this is great build-up from Liverpool now. Johnson over on the right-hand side, but there are two United players doubling up against him, and now Park emerges with the ball. Here comes Park, the South Korean. Rooney dropping deep, turning away from his marker in midfield. Rooney now feeding Gary Neville in front of Rafa Benitez. Neville just holds things up though and plays a square ball to Carrick. Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1 at Old Trafford. Rooney tackled in the centre circle by Rodriguez, but back come Manchester United once more. Carrick looking for the best pass here. Carrick to the far side of the field, finds Nani. Rooney's patrolling the edge of the penalty area. Nani taking on Johnson, he's gone past Johnson. In comes the cross, it's too high I think. Easy stretch for Reina. And we've got a goal at Leicester. Darren Fletcher.
Early goal for Leicester City. Mike scored after 4 minutes. Bit of a scramble in the penalty area. Andy King from 8 yards firing the ball into the bottom corner. It's Leicester 1, Coventry 0.
Thank you, Darren. Going with form at the moment there. That was a 2 o'clock kick-off. We started here at 1:30. And we have played 32, nearly 33 minutes of the first half. And now Agger has run too far with the ball, I think, and United cut it out. It's inside the centre circle where Agger recovers very quickly against Park. Agger now for Gerrard. This is better from Liverpool now. Gerrard steaming forward. United backing off. Gerrard just dilly-dallied and took it on too far. Ran into trouble. United looking to break now. And it's Fletcher finding Nani. The crowd urging Nani forward. Rooney up against Carragher on the edge of the area. Nani still holds though. Feeds Fletcher. Fletcher looking to see what's available down this near side. It's Gary Neville tucking it back to Valencia. In field again to Fletcher. Not much on for Fletcher. He's well marked by Mascherano. Rooney to the left and Evra. Lots of red shirts waiting if Evra can sweep this ball in. Again, it's not a great cross. Oh, and that was well controlled by Insua. Header down for his goalkeeper. Not easy to do, but he had it absolutely right.
Well, again, decent ball in by Evra. Well over the two. It was Park and Rooney in there. Well over the top of both of them. And you've got to say, very good header by Insua back into the arms of Wright.
There was Liverpool's problem, by the way, as Reina gave the ball. There was a huge gap between Torres and the rest of the team. They may be hoping that Torres could expose Vidic again, but Manchester United back in possession once more. Gary Neville shuffling backwards. It's 1-1 here, and we're into the last 15 minutes of the first half. Benitez still coaching from the sideline as Vidic controls the ball on the chest and then takes it towards the halfway line, really looking to stay on side, trying to time his run. United keeping it short though. Nani made a burst. Evra though comes in field. Nani took the defender with him. Evra now charging forward for Manchester United. Still Evra, wide on the United left. Referee motions play on, perhaps a suspicion of a foul there. Now it's a little flick in from Fletcher, which doesn't work for Manchester United. Gerrard played Lucas into difficulty, but now Gerrard, the Liverpool captain, is facing the right way, and Liverpool look to Johnson to hit a long ball out of defence. In the end, an aimless ball, which is controlled well by Vidic. You know, he half thought about the back pass there, but Count was blocking the route to goal. And now United with Carrick. Not great quality, but always interesting. High one from Carrick over the defender. Not sure even Park will get that. It's a goal kick.
Now, what I've got to say, Liverpool do very, very well. And Mascherano and Lucas, they cut the ball off to Rooney. And if they do get it through, Carragher or Agger's very, very tight and are willing to gamble in front of Rooney. And I think that stopped a lot of Man United play. They just can't get somebody on the ball between the midfield and the back four, which they like to do.
Benitez trying things all the time here, maybe not allowing the United defenders to settle here. He's constantly switching Maxi Rodriguez and Kaut. Rodriguez is now back near side and Kaut has gone across to the left. It's 1-1 here. Yesterday, remember, in North London, Arsenal and then the North Londoners Spurs put pressure on these two sides. Spurs putting pressure on Liverpool for 4th place, and of course Arsenal going to the top overnight ahead of Manchester United and Chelsea. Chelsea's game follows this one at Blackburn at 4 o'clock. Also today, Fulham, Manchester City. Here it's 1-1 and we have about 9 minutes to go in the first half. Agger of Liverpool on to Carragher. It's very close to being Liverpool's top side, this Benitez sending out here today. Liverpool building slowly. Lucas now to Kaut. Kaut steers the ball a long way back to Agger. Liverpool keeping possession and just playing it around in the heart of their own defence. Lucas wants someone to move towards him here. They're all running away from him. Lucas now stabs it down the line, and Glenn Johnson's stolen forward down that right-hand side. Kaut, it goes back once more, and it may go back again now because Lucas is in possession, and now Carragher slips as he lays it forward. Johnson at the moment playing on the right wing. Johnson manages to get in ahead of Fletcher, and that's good play from Johnson to fight Kaut. Kaut looking for Torres. He's not going to get that. Ferdinand is just ushering that one over the line, and a goal kick for Manchester United.
Well, apart from the goal, you've got to say Vidic, he always looks weary when Torres picks the ball up, and Ferdinand, they're just really, the two of them are joining up very closely on Torres. They're not letting him have any space.
Which is why Torres has to stay out there. He's on a yellow card. He's been niggled though, and Fabio Capello we see is here, as we would expect, sitting alongside Peter Reid here today. Peter Reid now with Stoke City, of course, and Fabio Capello. That's an interesting conversation between Reedy and Fabio, eh? Old England colleague of yours, of course, Chris, Peter Reid.
Yep.
And now it's Nemanja Vidic of Manchester United, 1-1. 8 minutes to go. Fabio Capello, by the way, was at the Villa Wolves game yesterday. He'll be delighted, I'm sure, to see Glenn Johnson back in action here today for Liverpool. He'll be watching Gary Neville too. There's some talk that Gary Neville could still even get into the England squad. Neville slips. A lot of players doing this, slipping as they deliver downfield. Ball near side, out of play, and that's Howard Webb is going to give to Manchester United. Well, I don't know, 50-50 that one. Could have gone anywhere. It's a throw into Manchester United. Gary Neville just evades Rafa Benitez, who's almost on the pitch down there. United playing it through the back four with Vidic. Vidic shuffles and then hits a high one, too high for Rooney. Poor ball that by Vidic. No way Rooney can get that.
Well, that's just the services. It's not good enough. I've got to say both teams getting it into the strikers, but I just think that the way Mascherano plays very deep, and Liverpool are playing very deep, there's just no space to drop that ball into Rooney or Park, who's got to come the other side of Mascherano and try and drag Mascherano away, which then we'll be able to get the ball into Rooney's feet.
And they haven't, Liverpool, had Gerrard on the ball quite as much as they would have liked in the first half.
It's the same format, really. You know, whether it's Carrick sitting deep or Fletcher going deep, they're just cutting the lane off. They're not letting them get the ball to feet.
Rooney's coming deep now to try and get the service. And Manchester United now look to Carrick and other the players. Capello's watching, obviously. Carrick living dangerously, manages to slip it back to the defender Vidic. And Vidic now finds Carrick once more inside the centre circle. Left-footed ball by Carrick, flicked on by Park, but he didn't really look, and he immediately apologises to Rooney. Now a chance for Liverpool on the break as Gerrard finds Dirk Kuyt. Kuyt's got 4 Manchester United players around him. He never threatened to go forward. Now Rooney a bit isolated. Rooney, though, does well onto Evra. Evra square ball behind Park. Valencia wants it down the right-hand side. Instead it comes to Gary Neville. Looks up to see where Rooney is. He's in the area. Valencia going around in Sewer. Needs a cross now. In it comes into the penalty area. Too high for Rooney. But Manchester United move on to the loose ball again over on the left-hand side as Nani finds Evra. Ball in from Evra. Should be headed away by Agger. In fact, he was beaten in the air by Park. But there was enough pressure from Agger to put Park off, and the effort's gone wide.
Well, Valencia again going past and so very, very easy, wasn't it? No trick, just get it, push it and run. Caught on his heels, decent ball in, but you got to say Liverpool have defended very well at 2 centre-halves against Rooney and Park.
That was where Chelsea really were adrift in Europe, I thought, in midweek. They don't have the wide players that Manchester United have in Valencia and Nani, and also Arsenal when they played against Porto with Arshavin wide on the left-hand side and the right-hand side at times. That was what Chelsea missed. Here it's 1-1 between United and Liverpool, and now it's Nani with the ball in field, which will be cleared, smashed away to safety by Carragher, except it's gone straight back again to Manchester United. 5 minutes left in the first half. United have conceded a rare goal at home in the Premier League, their first since December. Rooney, though, now has scored in 8 successive Premier League games at Old Trafford. That's a good ball from Neville to the aforementioned Rooney. Rooney now allowed to turn by Liverpool. Hits it with pace and venom to the far side. Nani controls it really well. It was an awkward one too. Nani now infield to Park. Park tried to play a 1-2, appeals for handball against Liverpool. Liverpool struggling to clear here. Torres hasn't managed to get hold of it. And now Fletcher finds Evra down the left-hand side. In comes the cross, but Carragher's there once more. So much happier in this centre of the defence position, Carragher. United now looking to play another 1-2 on the... Carragher looking for Reina, and he wasn't there. Fletcher came tanking in, but it goes behind for a goal kick. Just a moment of uncertainty there between centre-back and goalkeeper.
No, it's good pressure by Man United. They are forcing it now, but again, it's the quality coming in the box. Couple of crosses coming in, hit the first man on both occasions, and Rooney needs better service than that.
Don't forget the position as far as 4th place is concerned. At the moment, Tottenham have a 4-point lead over Liverpool. They've both played 30 games going into this one, and Liverpool have to get something from this if they're to have real meaningful hopes of qualifying in 4th. The ball now is with Torres, and that was a lazy pass by Torres towards Gerrard. It was cut out by Manchester United, and here comes Park once more now, fed by Rooney. Park goes down under Mascherano's challenge and wins the free kick. 30 yards out to the right as we look at it.
Well, I thought that was a little bit harsh, I've got to say. I think his right foot came around, played the ball, Park went over, and Howard Webb's bought it again. But I think it's a little bit too far out for a shot by Wayne Rooney, who's got on the ball. Nani's coming to it, he might fancy it.
Despite his frustration, Mascherano, he mustn't talk too much here. He's still talking to the referee, and he also is a player already on a yellow card in the game as Sammy Lee bellows some instructions down there. This is a Manchester United free kick. It's too far out for a strike at goal, I would have thought. Nani and Rio Ferdinand at the moment standing over the ball, and we've got about 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. It's a kick just played to the right-hand side to Gary Neville, and that was poor in the end from Manchester United. They find their way back once more on the halfway line. Ferdinand looks up and then strikes it to the far side, the left. Evra juggles with the ball. Evra for Manchester United. Now he runs forward, Evra. Evra with a nothing ball at the end of it, which is scooped away once more by Carragher, and in many ways sums up the first half. That the final ball has been poor from both sides. Ferdinand again, looking very sometimes stiff at times. Ferdinand very upright, doesn't always seem to be moving particularly smoothly with all the problems he's having at the moment with his back. And now Gary Neville against Maxi Rodriguez, fouled by Gary Neville. And it's going into a messy period again now.
Well, you've got to give Liverpool credit. They're coming out with a plan. They're going to play on the counter-attack. We haven't seen a great deal of Steven Gerrard and Torres. They've been isolated at times. But the players all behind the ball, from Lucas Mascherano, Kyle Rodriguez in the back four, have really put a shift in here, and they've frustrated Manchester United.
Well, 1-1, so it could still be 4-1 to Liverpool. And if you fancy that, by the way, before the game it was 125 to 1 for Liverpool to win 4-1, but now it's Fernando Torres, and Torres has turned and he's taking on Vidic, and there are some step overs there from Torres which were unnecessary really. That was showboating from Torres, and Van der Sar goes down at the near post and then drives the ball forward, looking to try and lift it over Carragher, but Carragher is there firmly at the back for Liverpool. Ball bounces around inside the centre circle, and Carrick's header to the right-hand side, hoping there'll be somebody there in a red shirt, and it's Valencia of Manchester United with a minute of normal time to go. There won't be a great deal of time to be added on. Valencia runs into trouble, Liverpool charge it down, header from Kaut, and now Gerrard to Lucas, and Liverpool trying to build, but they play the ball back again. That's the instinct, but there's a foul anyway on Lucas inside the centre circle. Valencia trying to pick him up, and it's a free kick to Liverpool. And we've just got seconds left in the first half. So what do you reckon? Even Steven? Or
I would say the way we expect. Man United have had more ball. There's no doubt about that. They've attacked more, but you've got to say what's Reina had to do, and that sums it up. I think Liverpool as a team have defended very, very well. Never been too ambitious. Always looking for that little opportunity to catch Man United out on the break, which they got the goal from. But Benitez is a little bit delighted with the way they've defended as a team. Aga's
free kick was aimed towards Kaut, but he didn't do anything in the air with it. And now Mascherano trying to tease the United defenders. Everest should be first, and there's an acrobatic overhead clearance by him. Liverpool ending the first half in the United half with seconds to go here. Still haven't seen the fourth official. 1-1 at Old Trafford, a mighty leap by Vidic. And now Rooney on the halfway line against Carragher. And that's loose. No, it's not. It's going to get Gary Neville's 2 minutes of added time, which is a bit surprising. I'm really don't recall there being too much treatment given to anybody in the first half. 2 minutes of added time, and now Evra of Manchester United. They're using Fergie's clock, I think, here today. It's back again to Vidic, 1-1. Vidic to Ferdinand. Never mind the sort of quality of the game, though. You can't take your eye off it for a second. Whenever these two lock horns, this intense rivalry. And now Van der Sar to Vidic. Don't forget, still to come in the Premier League. Fulham, Man City and Blackburn, Chelsea. One's a 3 o'clock, one's a 4 o'clock. Long ball now from Ferdinand. Rooney can't get that in the air, and it should be cleared by Carragher. Maxi Rodriguez now. Rodriguez, good ball up to Gerrard on the halfway line. Bit of interest here now being shown by Steven Gerrard. Lucas has made a run forward. Gerrard's poor ball in though. And despite that great run from Lucas, nothing on the end of it for Liverpool. And United, this is possibly going to be the last attack of the first half. We have about 45 seconds of added time to play. Evra's moving slowly though. Evra just ambling into the centre circle. Still Evra. Now Valencia. Insua needs to close in on him quickly. Valencia's holding it though. No attempt there to drive forward. It's Gary Neville. The pace subsiding. Great ball though to Rooney. Flick from Rooney. Fletcher goes down under Carragher's challenge. Referee wave play on. Rooney goes down on the edge of the area too. Howard Webb having to have eyes in the back of his head here. Yellow. He's reaching for a yellow card for Agger, is it? Or Carragher? Carragher.
Yep. It was a foul on there, Fletcher, there's no doubt, but he played the advantage and he let it run for about 10 seconds. I don't know how long you can let it run for advantages, but there's the foul. I've got the benefit of replay. It's gone on now for what? A long period after that. Rooney's lost the edge of the box, but he's brought the game back.
I would think that this will be the last kick of the first half, and it could be dramatic. Rooney's got the ball, 26 Premier League goals this season, and this kick is on the edge of the D. It's dead centre.
Well, looking at it, mate, I think Nani, there's a good range for Nani the way he strikes the ball and set piece as well, but it's Wayne Rooney, the confident man, who fancies his chances.
Well, he's putting the ball down very precisely. Howard Webb is certainly going to allow United to take this kick. Carrick has gone into the Liverpool wall. I think Fletcher's in there as well. Cout turns his back on Rooney. Reina tries to make sure he's got the best possible visibility. And now this is the last chance at the end of the first half, and it's going to be Wayne Rooney, second time around here. False alarm, he tried to take it, now he backs up, now he comes again, he'll try and lift this over the wall. Reina judged it well, he couldn't get the direction. Howard Webb now will surely send the teams to the dressing room for half-time. There's still conversation going on between players and referee, and that's it, that's the half-time. 1-1 here. Torres for Liverpool, Rooney for Manchester United. I mean, I suppose if you had to pick the two goal scorers in advance of this game, you'd have gone for those two. It's 1-1, and here's Chris Waddle.
Well, I've got to say, I think Man United probably dominated possession, which you'd expect being the home team, but not a lot to talk about on classic moments of goal-scoring opportunities. And Liverpool have come here to do a job. They got the lead, good header by Torres, and the penalty, which was rightly so given for me. But overall, I think if Liverpool will be quite happy so far. They'll look for the counter-attack, but if Man United will win this game, I think it's going to come from the bench.
Thanks, Chris. Jamie Carragher is still speaking to the referee down there, and what makes this second half really intriguing is the fact that at this stage of the season now, both sides have to go for the win, really, with Liverpool 4 points behind Spurs as far as fourth place is concerned. So the half-time score here at Old Trafford, quite a lot to talk about. Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1.
Wouldn't be the same if there wasn't. Chris, something I haven't seen, or very rarely have seen, is a player actually defacing a penalty spot just before a penalty was taken. Fernando Torres looked like he was digging for spuds.
Well, yeah, it's a strange one. Everybody was distracted with obviously the two sets of players together arguing, but Torres decided to go over to the penalty spot and dig it up, and unfortunately I think he got caught out.
Yeah, and I know what you're saying, you think it was a penalty for yourself. By the letter of the law, the infringement started several yards outside the box. Yep. I know what you mean about the punishment fits the crime, but they want consistency, and the law does say where the infringement started.
We'll be talking here for the next 40 years. We'll never get consistency out of referees. It's simple as that, mate.
You're absolutely right. Let's go and get some more goals up and down the country. We'll go straight away to Leicester City, Coventry City, the Walker Stadium. Darren Fletcher, there's been a second goal, or has there? Because I'm watching the replay, I'm still not sure.
Well, I can only judge by what the officials have said here, Colin, and they have said it's a second goal for Leicester, scored by the man that got the first one, Andy King. Paul Gallagher's cross into the 6-yard box. King with a header, hit the underside of the bar, a la Jeff Hurst in 1966, came down, the players played on. Lee Probert, the referee, stared long and hard at the linesman on the near side, who said goal, and he'd probably got the best view of anybody. The goal stands, King scored scored twice. It's one-way traffic, and it's Leicester City 2, Coventry 0.
Thanks, Darren. A quick mention for any people tuning in during Manchester United Liverpool. If you are a Man U fan, next Saturday at midday, we're hosting a special 5 Live Sport Manchester United fans forum. We're aiming to do more and more of these to get as close to you as we can here as your station. We've been to Portsmouth. That's the turn of the Man U fans. The venue's going to be the Lorry in I can't pronounce that, I know. You can text in if you want. Salford Quays. If you'd like to be in the audience, then you've got to send an email. No numbers in this email, just all letters. 5livesport@bbc.co.uk. We're going to need your full name, your address including your postcode, and a contact telephone number. You can have up to 4 tickets per request, and you also, if possible, could put Manchester United Fans Forum or something similar in the subject bar of your email. Tickets are free. First come, first served, as you'd imagine. So emails to 5livesport@bbc.co.uk. If you are going to the match, the tea time kick-off for United on Saturday, you can still make it. You can do the Fans Forum, bar really bad roadworks, which are everywhere at the moment. You will still be able to make the match. Let's take a couple of minutes out, get your latest news with Tamsin Kernow.
Online at bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The Unite Union is appealing to the board of British Airways to try to resolve the dispute between the airline and its cabin crew. The Joint General Secretary, Tony Woodley, has urged crew to stay strong on the second day of a 3-day walkout. Our reporter Phil Lavelle is at Heathrow Airport. He says BA is claiming that the strike isn't having much of an impact.
It says that it managed yesterday to reinstate 8 long-haul flights from Heathrow. It says now this was because 1,157 staff actually turned up for work compared to those that they were expecting not to turn up. So 8 long-haul flights left from Heathrow yesterday. They were going to places like New York, Miami, Sao Paulo, Johannesburg.
Cabinet ministers have condemned former colleagues who were secretly filmed apparently offering to try to influence government policy in return for cash. Stephen Byers and Patricia Hewitt are among those who feature in the Channel 4 and Sunday Times film. They both deny doing anything wrong. Speaking on Sky News, the Foreign Secretary David Miliband said he was appalled.
It's absolutely of the essence that there is no muddying of the line between public service and private gain. And I think that the suggestions that have been made were appalling, and as I pointed out, I think Steve Byers then realised what the error of his ways the next day, but that doesn't mean they should have been said.
The Chancellor Alistair Darling says there'll be no giveaways ahead of the general election as he prepares to deliver his budget on Wednesday. He says the public wants it to be sensible and workmanlike. A 4-year-old girl from Nottingham has died in Florida after she was hit by a car on Daytona Beach. It's thought she'd been on holiday with her family. Iraq's election commission has rejected calls from the President and Prime Minister for a recount of votes from the general election earlier this month. The long delay in announcing the full results has led to growing allegations of fraud. A record label is launching a talent search aimed at religious orders around the world. Decca, which is based in London, is hoping to recruit a troupe of nuns to record an album in time for the Pope's UK visit in September. On the roads, there's slow traffic on the M1 southbound in Leicestershire. A vehicle fire means that a lane's closed between junctions 23A and 23 for Loughborough. M5 southbound queuing traffic on the Cribbs Causeway exit near Bristol, junction 17. The A56 Haslington bypass at Rising Bridge in Lancashire is closed southbound after an accident between the A680 Blackburn Road and the Woolpack roundabout, and the A12 Eastern Avenue in Ilford in Greater London. Queues westbound at the Gants Hill roundabout because of roadworks. Tamsin Kernow, 5 Live Travel.
Stephen Nolan.
Friday, Saturday and Sunday nights on 5 Live are all about lively conversation. You having your say. If you've missed recent Nolan shows, here's a taster of what it's like.
The country's being run by psychologists and other left-wing do-gooders who haven't got a clue, these people.
And then, of course, we have this question of whether older drivers should have to reset their test at 70.
It's all down to the individual discretion of your doctor, isn't it?
You give up. Nobody tells you to give up. People do that quite sensibly. They stop driving at peak times. They don't
stop driving when they have an accident.
Who knows what we'll be talking about this weekend?
Stephen Nolan.
Friday, Saturday and Sunday nights from 10 on 5 Live.
5 Live Sports.
The Premier League.
Man United take on Liverpool.
And the half-time score is 1-1. Torres early for the visitors, and a Wayne Rooney penalty made it 1-1 at half-time. And Mike from Leeds, who's a qualified ref, has texted in on 85058, and he says the law says when pulling starts outside the area but continues inside, it's a penalty. So Webb was spot on. Mike, that's as close to expert as this show's going to get, so I'm going to take you at your word, and we're going to say then it was a penalty. We'll have to debate the colour of the card at another time. Let's get to Craven Cottage. 3 games in the Premier League today. Jackie Oatley's there for BBC Radio 5 Live. Fulham host Manchester City, kick off 3 o'clock. Jackie, what would Manchester City have to do to ruin Fulham's week? I don't think there's anything.
It's been a fantastic week, hasn't it? I mean, Thursday night, I'd have given anything to be here on Thursday. It sounded amazing. 4-1 down, of course, against Juventus in that Europa League tie on aggregate, and they came back to win the tie. And Roy Hodgson said afterwards that he felt on top of the world, but of course he had to remind his players afterwards that they've got a really important few games coming up. They've got Manchester City here, of course, this afternoon. Then they've got a replay against Tottenham in the FA Cup on Wednesday, and then they go to Hull on Saturday.
Just stay with us and hold that thought for a second, because in 5 Live Sports Extra at 3 o'clock, it's Rangers against St Mirren in the Cooperative Insurance Cup, the League Cup, and the Scottish champions bidding, of course, to win that domestic treble. And let's go to Andy Gillies, who's got a guest with him in the tunnel. Should have Andy there any second. Don't worry, I can certainly hear some music.
30 minutes, I should say, from kick-off.
Yeah, well, it's like anything else. You just this is the worst part of the day, really. You know, you're nervous and you just want the game to start. But obviously the boys are out when they do their warm-up now and prepare for the start of the game. But I've always said, even as a player and as an assistant manager, this is the worst period of the day, if you like.
The good news for you is that Steve Davis, who is unwell, is declared fit. Was that touch and go this morning?
Well, it certainly was. He didn't stay with us last night, overnight at the hotel. He stayed at home. His wife and his little one had a little bit of a bug in midweek, and he picked it up, unfortunately. But I went over to the house with the doctor this morning, and he said he was feeling a whole lot better, which was great news. And he declared himself fit to have a go at it today, which is a real bonus for us, because make no mistake about it, he's a very valuable player for us.
And Neil Alexander in goal, he's been with you the whole way through. Your manager has been absolutely adamant he's not going to talk about a treble before this game, but I mean, you must be at the back of your mind that this could be the first leg of a domestic treble if things went right.
Well, it's certainly at the back of the mind, because you lot keep reminding us of it. It's a scary thing to talk about. It really is. There's no doubt about it. It's because I think there's only been 10 or 11 achieved. So from that point of view, you have to believe me when I say we do not talk about it in the dressing room. We do not talk about it in the coaches' room at all either. It's so difficult to win games of football actually without talking about going on to win trebles. This is going to be a very, very difficult game for us.
Played 6 times. Well, this is the 6th meeting.
Absolutely. And I think the previous 2 cup games, we played them in the homecoming Scottish Cup and we knocked them out after a replay. I think those 2 games would be an indication of how difficult it's going to be today. And the first game at New Love Street, we drew nothing each. And we didn't play at all well. St Mirren played very well, and the replay, in fact, I think it took us to the 84th or 85th minute to notch a goal, and it was 1-0. We eventually won that game by, as it said, it was a really tough game, and Chris Boyd's goal saw us through. But I think those 2 games will be a real indicator of how difficult it's going to be. Being Gus and Andy have got their side. The one thing about St Mirren is they're really, really well drilled and well organised, dangerous at set plays, and they make it very difficult for you. So we're under no illusion it's going to be a tough cup final today.
Final question. Given everything that's gone on this season at Rangers, all the problems behind the scenes, what would today and everything else, the possibility of the league trophy and the possibility of the Scottish Cup, if that would happen, what would that mean given that context?
It would mean everything, because it's the club has been well documented, isn't going through the best of times, financial times at the moment. But the one thing that has been 100% true and 100% solid is A, the support from the fans, and B, the commitment from the players. And for those two parties, I would love to see us just go on and win things and win cups and win leagues, because both sets deserve it.
Ali, thank you very much. Colin, I should mention there's another side in here as well, and they've not been in a cup final for 23 years, and they are incredibly excited about it, and if they can spoil Ali's day, they're going to do that.
Absolutely. Mr. McCoy's with Mr. Gillies there. I have a feeling in my bones, actually, despite all those defeats over the last 6 weeks for St Mirren against Rangers, that St Mirren will win today. What does that mean? Well, absolutely nothing. Let's get back to Craven Cottage, where we were talking to Jackie ahead of the 3 o'clock kick-off, Fulham against Man City. Of course, an amazing week for Fulham after they beat Juventus in the Europa League. They're through to the quarter-finals to face Wolfsburg, the first leg at home on the 1st of April. Jackie, it was interesting what goes on inside the dressing room, keeping the players focused. Now, it's one of those days today, isn't it, where Manchester United, Liverpool's at half-time, but it affects Manchester City greatly what happens with Liverpool going around the ground. Is it on monitors? Can you hear the radio commentary of Alan Green and Mike Ingham seeping out of the Manchester City dressing room?
No, you can hear Diddy David Hamilton at the moment over the PA, but of course we've been watching it in the press room. But no, it's not on our monitors here. Everyone here is fully focused on their game. Fulham, as we talked about before, the feel-good factor very much there. But for Manchester City, remember, this is a huge game. If they win today, they'll just be 2 points behind Tottenham in 4th place with another game in hand, so it's huge for them. They'll be hoping, of course, Fulham have tired legs. Roberto Mancini has made 4 changes today. Wayne Bridge, of course, is injured. There's no sign of Richards at all. Wright Phillips and De Jong drop to the bench. Toure comes in. Vieira and Johnson also start. And Santa Cruz joins Tevez up front in a 4-4-2 formation. 2 changes for Fulham from Thursday night. Smalling replaces Hangeland at centre-half. Kelly drops to the bench. Baird moves to right back, and skipper Danny Murphy returns in midfield after suspension.
Okay, I'm sure he wish he had been playing during the week, but there you go. Thank you very much. Fulham Man City, 3 o'clock kick-off. We'll keep you up to date with that. Our commentary game, though, will be at 4 o'clock. It's Blackburn against Chelsea, and John Murray's part of our commentary team at Ewood Park. Good afternoon to you, John.
Hello, Colin.
And I would ask you the same question. Of course, kick-off further away. Is the Man United-Liverpool game on there, or are Chelsea keeping a close eye on it? You'd imagine the players have a little sneaky earphone.
Well, it's on the screens that are hanging from the roof of the main stand here, and we've been watching it down in the press room in the first half, so I would imagine they're very much aware of what's going on. And I know that Ancelotti and his team are here because I've just been watching Carlo Ancelotti and Ray Wilkins have a little wander out at half-time in that game into the centre circle here, and they were having a little laugh together in the centre circle in the sunshine.
It could go down, and you look at today's fixtures and Man U, Liverpool, but actually it's not easy to go to Blackburn and get a win. Only 2 teams have done it this season.
Well, I think it's stating the obvious really to say that today is getting back on the horse day, isn't it, for Chelsea? And I think the big point of interest is how will Chelsea look on the field? How will they play? I think also what team will Ancelotti pick? I don't think he'll pull many surprises. But, with it being the first game back after Tuesday. And also, I should mention Blackburn, who I should point out have actually won their last 4 home games, and people will remember that they knocked Chelsea out of the Carling Cup here in December, albeit on penalties. But I think you should say that Blackburn are going to have a considerable say in what happens in terms of the very top of the Premier League table over the next few weeks, because Chelsea today, Manchester United and Arsenal all have to play here against Blackburn.
Absolutely. 4 o'clock then at Ewood Park for Blackburn Rovers against Chelsea. In the Championship, the 3 o'clock kick-off is Cardiff against Watford. John Rawlings there, and John, both teams with games in hand, and they need to win them for very different reasons.
Yeah, definitely. Other ends of the table, of course. Watford struggling, Cardiff in that 4th playoff spot, with Sheffield United and Doncaster breathing down their necks. The locals say that they're playing rubbish. They've lost 4 of their last 6, but they've got those games in hand, so they need to win the likes of this. 17-goal Michael Chopra back from suspension, only on the bench though. They do make 2 changes from the side that won midweek. The Hungarian Gabor Gypes and Gavin Ray replace Adam Matthews and Anthony Gerrard. Watford, who are 19th and coming in after that vital midweek win over Ipswich, they make 2 enforced changes. The youngster Lee Hodson and Ross Jenkins replace the injured Henry Lansbury and Jay Demerit.
Thank you very much, John Rowling. Let's head back to Darren Fletcher, our other Championship game today. Leicester against Coventry, the home side 2-0 up. Is that still the case, Darren?
They're absolutely cruising, Colin. Still 2-0 to Leicester City. Andy King's got both goals. The first after 4 minutes from about 8 yards, slotting into the corner after a bit of a penalty box melee. His second was a header that came down off the underside of the bar, awarded by the linesman on the near side. Martin Waghorn might have had a couple of goals. A full-length save from Westwood denied him from a free kick, and then he shot over after being sent clear by an excellent ball from Solano. Coventry have offered little, just one shot from Baker that tested Chris Wheel, but at the moment Leicester City in cruise control. Leicester 2, Coventry 0.
A lot to talk about, and some of it hasn't been written. Penalty debates, red cards or yellow cards, an early goal for Liverpool. It's 1-1 at half-time, Manchester United against Liverpool. What will we be talking about after 90 minutes? Let's find out. Chris Waddle, Mike Ingham, and first Alan Green.
Well, United were first out of the tunnel, and I think they were quickly out onto the pitch, and I think to Chris Waddle, they need to step up their tempo. United.
Well, as I say, Liverpool have defended very, very well as a team, and they've just run out of ideas getting the ball into Rooney. They like to play down the middle, Man United, get it back, get it away, get it in, and today Liverpool have stifled the ball into Rooney. And Park, for me, has looked a little bit lost playing that advance close to Rooney. He's run at times have not linked up together, and I know Paul Scholes was running up and down the lane just a minute ago, so they might have to, as I say, if Man United want to win it, it's going to come from the bench.
No changes in either team at the start of the second half, so these are the 11s. Manchester United's goalkeeper is Van der Sar. The defenders Neville, Ferdinand, Vidic and Evra. Then Valencia, Carrick, Fletcher, Park and Nani. Finally Rooney equalised with a penalty. Liverpool's goalkeeper is Reina. Their defence, Johnson, Carragher, Aguerd and Insua. Then Lucas and Mascherano. Then Kaut, Gerrard and Maxi Rodriguez. And finally their goal scorer, a header after 5 minutes, Torres. 3 Liverpool players on yellow cards, and the history of this fixture, that could be significant in the second half. Carragher, Mascherano and Torres, the spine of the team. They couldn't afford to lose any of those 3. Hardwell checks with his 2 linesmen, then he checks with television, of course, and television say no, don't kick off yet. Oh, can we? Good, we're underway. Second half here on 5 Live. Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1. United in their red shirts attacking the Stretford end, defended by Liverpool's black shirts. Maxi Rodriguez on the far side for the visitors. To Lucas, and Lucas back to Aguerd. Aguerd just steps away from Rooney and then stops, gives the ball to Lucas, back to Aguerd. Aguerd delays the clearance and now he flicks it over the halfway line where it's comfortably headed back by Ferdinand, headed back into United's half by Lucas. Lucas challenges for the ball again. His header finds Torres, who chests it down, can't get the ball on the ground where he wants it. Then was he fouled there by Carrick? He was, and it's a free kick to Liverpool.
Oh, a couple of long balls there from both teams there, and this time Torres gets it down, and Gerrard, I'm sure, Aguerd's gone forward. You need a bit of pace on this delivery.
Well, Aguerd would be the obvious target for Liverpool, even more than Torres, whose header put them in front. Gerrard's going to take the free kick. A minute played in the second half. Gerrard, right-footed, dinks it in, and it's headed away comfortably by Ferdinand, headed back by Carragher, and then toe poked away by Neville, taken up by Rooney, wearing gloves. Oh, that's a mistake by Johnson. Terrible error. Nani into the penalty here, flicks it in field, and it should be cleared by Gerrard and finally by Johnson, but it was awful by Johnson.
Well, he tried to nick the ball off Nani instead of just running with Nani and facing him up. He's tried to nick and read the ball, the pass of Rooney, and it could have proved costly.
Throw in to United at the Stretford end of Old Trafford. Taken by Evra to Park. Park got away from Kite, crosses into the penalty area, allowed to run by Reina, and then it bounces over Valencia and goes behind for a goal kick. Momentary uncertainty there by Reina and by the defender.
It's a good ball by Park, going nowhere, wasn't it, in the corner there? Left foot across the far post.
Who's your money on? It's actually very difficult to predict for this thing.
It's impossible. It's impossible. I think Man United have had more possession, but I can't remember Reina making a save. So,
he saved once from Nani.
Yeah, near post. That was he tipped around the corner, but that was 25-yard shot, wasn't it?
Sun's out at Old Trafford again. The crowd has drifted away with Mike Ingham's commentary, and the sun shines back out. Total coincidence. Total coincidence.
I'm just happy Mike hasn't here. I'm sitting as close to me, normally injures us.
Lucas feeds the ball forward, but only to Carrick, who's inside the centre circle for the champions Manchester United. Wide to Valencia, who gave Insua a difficult time in the first half. Insua blocks that attempted pass, and it's out for a throw-in to United. Neville, the captain, to take it. Neville throws it in the direction of Fletcher, hooked away by Lucas and by Mascherano and Gerrard. But here's Evra from that Liverpool clearance. On to Nani down the left side. He might fancy having a run at Johnson. And he does run inside Johnson, who blocks him, and it's a free kick.
Well, it's a sloppy and it's an easy free kick, and Nani's fronted him up, just moved the ball in. He has pushed into him and obstructed him slightly, but again, Glenn Johnson easily beaten.
3 minutes gone in the second half. Free kick to Manchester United. Yard and a half in from the left touch line. And Hardwell, the referee, telling Dirk Kuyt to retreat another inch and a half. Nani to take the free kick, right-footed. swinging in towards Reina's goal, towards the far post. Not a good free kick. Headed away easily. Parked from the clearance though to Valencia. Valencia under pressure, puts it back into the sunshine, and Gary Neville on the edge of the centre circle for United. Neville forward, good ball to Park. Park then robbed by Insua. Park's had a strangely ineffective game. Normally a man for big occasions, Park. Trying to win the ball back. Insua evades him, finds Agar onto Mascherano, and now Lucas. Lucas to Johnson. Johnson to Kuyt. Kuyt, whose cross was headed in by Torres to put Liverpool in front after 5 minutes. Then Mascherano pulled Valencia down. Penalty successfully converted in the end by Rooney. His first attempt saved by Reina. Here's Maxi Rodriguez to Insua and Mascherano. Mascherano to Rodriguez again. 10 yards over the halfway line. Now running through the centre circle, playing it to this near touchline, and Glenn Johnson, the right fullback, to Kuyt. Johnson again into Gerrard. Gerrard does well, getting past two players, and he's got the ball 25 yards out, chips it forward into the penalty area, headed away well by Evra. Gerrard might have got a bit more purchase on that attempted flick pass to Kuyt, but Park's running himself into trouble. He seemed to run into Kuyt there, and the referee looked and didn't give a free kick.
I don't know what Park's role is. He just seems to be floating around everywhere, but it just look. You need somebody to play with Wayne Rooney at the moment who's going to link up with him, and him and Park are not on the same wavelength.
But the question is, would Sir Alex be happy to go to 4 in midfield?
Well, I think Park, you cannot fault his work rate. He's tremendous at closing players down. He's a terrific engine. We know with Berbatov he's not going to do that, but you will get the quality from Berbatov.
Good ball by Lucas to Insua on the attack for Liverpool. Level with the edge of the United penalty. Then a terrible cross, chested away by Vidic to Carrick, who finds Evra. And Gerrard dives in there on Evra. And he did go in with 2 feet. He wasn't a serious imposition on Evra, but he sort of dived in, and it is a free kick.
Well, it's probably his trailing foot, his left foot, isn't it? He's lunged with his right, which he's played the ball, and his left foot's the one what comes throughout. And just a quick word, it's a foul.
It's a foul, but
that's it.
No big deal. Neville after the free kick to Carrick on the halfway line to Rooney, and Rooney, good flick to Park. Park running through towards the edge of the penalty, shoots left-footed, simple save for Reina.
Well, that's the first time they've linked up together, them two, and wonderful ball by Rooney. Park just couldn't get out of his feet, couldn't get the power with his left foot, and it's a comfortable save.
The other combination had been Park playing it to Rooney, would have been far more threatening. Reina with a mammoth clearance in the direction of Torres. Vidic heads it away. Park can only nudge it towards Johnson. Johnson flicks it on to Kuyt. Looked like a handball by Evra. Linesman didn't see that. Johnson challenges the French fullback, and it's out of play for a throw-in. And Nani will leave it for Evra to take on the halfway line. Still no marked increase in tempo by United.
No, I think they're still a bit edgy there, a bit weary of leaving the back door open, as simple as that. When you've got Torres and Gerrard having around close, they're a little bit weary of that, but I think as the time goes on, I'm sure Alex Ferguson will look at it. He's got to look at winning this game. 52
minutes played. Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1 on 5 Live. Still to come, Fulham against Manchester City, and then Blackburn against Chelsea. It's with Mascherano, one of the 3 Liverpool players on yellow cards after the first half. Rodriguez to Torres, another player booked in the first half. Torres runs forward and then got to take the ball with him. Bellows at the linesman for some reason. It wasn't the linesman's fault. Cleared by Manchester United, but Carragher, equal to Rooney, puts it out of play.
Yeah, good battle at Rooney with the 2 centre-halves today, and Jamie Carragher there stuck to his task well.
Evra with a throw to Nani, back to Evra, and now it goes to Rooney, and Rooney clips a glorious ball to Valencia on the far side of the field. Valencia expecting it, controls it, passes it back. Neville, first time cross into the penalty area. Reina stretched, collided with the post, didn't get a touch, and it's behind for a goal kick.
Well, it looked better at first when he crossed it, didn't he? But you've got to say, for Gary Neville, he'd be disappointed that he didn't mean to play just over the far post. He's trying to get into the danger area for Rooney, and Reina always had it covered.
You heard the debate at half-time about, whether the offence committed by Mascherano and Valencia was outside the penalty area when it started. Should that affect the referee's judgment?
I think what's happened there is it's like anything. If you're a forward or a player going into the box, you want to attack and go into the box with the ball. And that's what he did. I think he's looked at the advantage of it to say, go on, keep running. And when he's got to the box, he's still tugging on him slightly. He's gone down in the box, which obviously the penalty comes.
Throw into Liverpool on the halfway line, right in front of Rafa Benitez, taken by Johnson to Mascherano. Then the two of them exchange passes. Johnson plays it forward, it hits Nani and goes out for another throw in. 9 minutes gone in the second half, not a lot has happened.
No,
deflected out by Evra, another throw into Liverpool, but they've at least gained about 30 yards.
Berbatov and Scholes have started warming up now.
Johnson to take the throw in again for Liverpool. Gerrard and Coughton nearby. Johnson's looking backwards and then he throws it to Kuyt. A few yards to the right of the United penalty area. Sort of funnels it back to Johnson. Johnson keeps it forward. Ran forward without any conviction. Poor flick by Kuyt. Poor defensive work by Carrick. Still not cleared. Vidic jumped at Gerrard there. And the linesman decided, and presumably in tandem with the referee, that there was no offence there. I thought there was a shout for a free kick.
He jumped straight into Gerrard there, didn't he? It was a fair shout on the Liverpool fans.
Nani gets away from Johnson. Rooney running to his left. Nani in towards Park. Park flicks it. Here's Rooney in the penalty area. A chip towards the far post. Headed away by Rodriguez. And Mascherano beats Nani in the air. It's headed further away. And then Gerrard takes it off Carrick's toes. Maxi Rodriguez holding off Fletcher. And then goes down under Neville. What's going on here? Rodriguez goes down. Neville points at Rodriguez and then flicks the imaginary yellow card. It's far too narky. It always is. Grow up, lads, and get on with the game. 55 minutes played at Old Trafford. Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1 on 5 Live. Handball, without question, by Rodriguez. Amazingly not seen. The hold on. What's he given now? He didn't see that, Webb. He didn't see it. Play continued, and then he blew his whistle. So how did he find out about the handball?
The crowd told him.
Oh, not clever refereeing in either case. It was such an obvious handball.
I tell you, with the crowd shouting, he blew.
Well, he should have booked Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Pathetic refereeing, Hardwell. 11 minutes played in the second period. Still 1-1. Free kick taken by United. Here's Carrick, about 30 yards to the Liverpool goal. Plays it poorly, not a great clearance by Carragher. Ran straight to Evra, and Rooney a long way out. Again looking for Valencia. Lofts the pass to the right side, brought under control by Valencia. Into Park. Excellent work though by Mascherano, who's then fouled by Park, and it's a free kick. It's half-time at Leicester. Down Fletcher.
Leicester 2, Coventry 0. Andy King with both goals, a header and a shot from about 8 yards out. Coventry have offered very little. Leicester completely dominating this match. Leicester 2, Coventry 0.
See, the thing about that handball, thanks Darren, by the way, the thing about that handball was there was no advantage to Manchester United. So it wasn't as if he saw a handball and thought, well, United have the ball. They didn't. In fact, Liverpool could have counter-attacked. Anyway, the ball's inside the centre circle. Fletcher brings it down, slips the pass to the left to Evra, onto Nani. Nani down the Manchester United left with the full-back Evra. And back to Fletcher, and Fletcher directs it towards Valencia. Ensua spotted that, heads it away to Rodriguez, who's fouled by Valencia, and it's a free kick. And then Neville kicks the ball away.
It just seems to be one ball for Man United, doesn't it? Nani's never really got a Johnson, disappointing. I can see why Giggs has got his bottoms off now. I think he's got to get a Glenn Johnson if he comes on, Ryan Giggs, and have a go, because the only outlet they've had all game really has been Valencia.
Well, I think the two Liverpool fullbacks are both suspect defensively. Both highly suspect. Still 1-1 though. Liverpool's free kick taken by Aga the Dane and driven deep. Kuyt jumped, Torres went down, having challenged for the ball with Vidic. Torres is back on his feet. Liverpool have still in possession. Johnson to Kuyt, and Kuyt got a little nudge there from Fletcher, and again Fletcher just stronger than the Dutchman, and then he passes it back to Van der Sar, who clears it left-footed toward the halfway line. Headed down by Carragher, but then there was a slip by Gerrard. Carrick couldn't control the ball, and it's out of play for a Liverpool throw. And the truth is, the standard of the football isn't good.
Well, it just looked two nervous teams. It's like both teams, I think, we don't want to lose this. And that's, I think, the way the game's been played. They're very frightened to take risk.
Johnson delaying the throw-in. Already 14 minutes played in the second half. Torres with the header down to Gerrard. Gerrard couldn't keep possession, and now it's with Ferdinand. Ferdinand to Neville. Still midway inside the United half. On to Fletcher. Fletcher with Carrick available. Plays it to Carrick. Carrick unmarked. On to Rooney. Back to Carrick. But Carrick forced to retreat a little bit into his half. And now gives it to Vidic. And United are just too slow.
Well, I think they're not, give Liverpool credit, they're well organised. Look, if you look at the position Mascherano, he's cutting Rooney's lane off all the time. They can't get the ball into him, they're playing very, very deep. And they're saying, yeah, you can play in front all day. You want to beat, we'll come around. And the only joy they've had is down by Valencia down the side.
Now here's a run by Valencia. Into the centre of the Liverpool half. Finds Rooney. Rooney 25 yards out. Good ball to the right side and Fletcher. Neville on the overlap. Fletcher ignores him. Swings the cross in. Here's a chance. Parkhead United in front. Diving header by the Korean. Reina could do nothing about it at the Stretford end. And Manchester United have been a goal down. Now lead Liverpool by 2 goals to 1.
Well, you got to say, as I've just saying, that's where you get your joy down the flanks. If you come down the middle, you get nothing. This Liverpool team's well organised. This time Fletcher's made a run out wide. A little outside run by Neville, I think it was, of Valencia. Just distracted him, give him a yard. And he's just got it out of his feet. What a delivery. Park this time in the right place. Ghosts in, nobody picks him up. Fantastic delivery, round by the back man. 6 yards out, Reina, no chance.
None at all. So all those grin and gold scars are being waved aloft, which will be great news, of course, for the Glazer, who's sitting in the director's box. But I think they're sort of impervious to this attempted insult. He's only concerned that Manchester United win games, win trophies, and make sure that they remain profitable, in his view. And they're now lead by 2 goals to 1. What's this? So it's Valencia jumped in on Aguirre.
Oh, yellow. Yellow card for Valencia.
Yeah.
So it's Norwich 2, Liverpool 1.
Norwich 2, Liverpool 1. Yes, that's right. And we played an hour. Well, I didn't really see that goal coming, to be honest.
The only joy they've had, we'll talk about is down the flanks with Valencia. This time Fletcher's out there. It's a great delivery, fantastic ball, but that's where they're going to get the joy, Man United, down the flanks.
There's Mascherano for Liverpool. Now Liverpool, they will not want to lose this game, clearly. Can they get back into it? Gerrard hooks the ball back. Here's Torres. Torres couldn't get it under control, and it's cleared by Neville. High. Rooney jumps well, heads it on, drops to Carragher. Carragher, Neville's boot was high there, surely. I don't think he actually caught Maxi Rodriguez, but in any other game, that's high.
High, but he's going to say he's ducked, he's gone high. Me personally, I would have said it was a free kick to Liverpool, but Maxi Rodriguez, yes, you realise he has caught him.
Well, I don't think Rodriguez was caught, but I think the foot was high from Neville.
It was above normal, yes.
And I'm afraid Hardware, I don't know what, maybe he's affected by the stature of the game, but he's made some odd decisions. Neville's not being punished in either a yellow card or a free kick. We're just seeing it again. Well, Rodriguez crouched a little
bit, second one.
But Neville, his boot was actually higher than Rodriguez's head.
Well, Torres had a great chances before that. His first touch for once let him down. If he'd had a tight first touch, Torres, on that cross from Gerrard, that could have been an equaliser. He bobbled it up in the end and cleared it. It was actually Gary Neville's second foot. His right foot plays the ball, his left foot kicks the back of Rodriguez's head as they land.
Well, Gerrard's letting Hard Webb know what he thinks about his, quote, lack of decision in favour of Liverpool on this occasion. I didn't play the game, Chris. I know it can be 6 of one, half a dozen of the other if a player sort of crouches down to head it. But Neville's boot was very high.
It was high, but as I say, it's the second one. Probably that's why Howard Webb didn't notice it. It was the trailing foot what's actually kicked them on the back of the head as they've landed. Ryan Babel's warming up. I think he's got to look at Babel to come on. Rodriguez has given the side balance, but he's never gone past Gary Neville once. He's never attacked Gary Neville once. And that's what you've got to look at. You've got to look to think, how can we affect this game?
Well, it would be Rodriguez he'd take off. He won't take Kite off.
He's got to look at Benayoun on the right. Just go for the game. You need a result, Liverpool. You don't. 2-1's no good to Liverpool Football Club.
Well, there's now a sort of friendly discussion, I think, between Torres and Neville. But that's quite a hold up there for the challenge on Maxi Rodriguez, who's now got a bandage around his head and is going off before he comes back on. And there's obviously a very offensive song being sung about Gerrard by the Manchester United fans. I'm not going to translate it for you. Just typical of the offence that takes place from both sides in this fixture. Play resumes. 19 minutes played in the second half. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1. Reina onto Mascherano. And now to Insua on the far side. Maxi Rodriguez with bandage back on the field. Aguerd to the Argentine. Inside the centre circle. That's a poor pass from him. Easily cut out by Carrick. And Park for United. Park being hustled. Lucas won the ball fairly. He's being pulled back by Carrick. That's a free kick. No, the advantage played by the referee, and Liverpool still have the ball. Kuyt just blocked there by Evra, and Manchester United have it back, and I think Liverpool would rather have had the free kick.
Well, they have, but Liverpool have upped the tempo slightly, and they're having a go now, and it's looking for an interesting game.
Really, it was a bit high in the challenge on Carragher, but he knew that was for effect, really. He wasn't ever going to touch Jamie Carragher, and it's cleared upfield. Now Evra's gone down. I don't know how he's been caught.
He's hurt his wrist. He just caught with Kuyt there. He landed on his wrist awkward.
Have we had any football over the last 4 or 5 minutes? Don't think so. Incidentally, I have no idea why Hardweb had 2 minutes for stoppages at the end of the first half. I do not recall a single stoppage in play. Play resumes. Evra's okay. United are okay. They're 2-1 up, and for the moment they'll be heading back to the top of the Premier League. Lucas to Johnson. Johnson being hustled by Nani, but get the ball back to Aguerd. We played 20 minutes in the second half. Aguerd over the halfway line to Rodriguez, back to Aguerd. And Lucas is in a very forward position, just a yard outside the United penalty. Aguerd's going to shoot from long range and leaving the bother. High and behind.
Well, if you look who's in the box there, look, he's 35 yards out on the left-hand side. Lucas on his own in the box. I think he's got to be positive here. Get Aquilani on, get the ball off the back four, see if he can start things happening. You don't need Mascherano and Lucas sat there now, you need one. And I think he's got to either bring on Babel or Benayoun.
Well, you see, tends not to make changes, Benitez, until about 66, 67 minutes, unless they're forced on him by injury. Very rare that he makes changes before that. They'll need to change something here, Liverpool. Rooney's pass was intercepted by Johnson, but then he didn't keep the ball. Now it's with Park, who hasn't had the best of games, but critically has scored United's second goal. Carrick on towards Fletcher. It was intercepted by Kuyt. Kuyt gets in a challenge on Fletcher again, and then there was an incident happening behind the referee's back involving Fletcher and Kuyt. Hardweb pulls the pair apart. He was actually, he had awarded a free kick.
Yeah, he did, and Fletcher's reacted after he took the boy, didn't know it was a free kick, and Kuyt's just brought him down. And now Hardweb is...
now he's being told something in his lug hole, that's for sure. Hardweb, because you saw him moving his little hearing aid there. He's got Kuyt and Fletcher alongside him now. And well, I don't think actually that Kuyt did anything wrong there. Fletcher tried to kick him.
Well, he kicked out, didn't he? And he's had a reaction there. He's have to have a quiet word.
Oh, well, it's my end of spell, so to speak. Mike.
And it's clouded over again. Well, 2-1 to Manchester United. Liverpool will soon have to make some changes, surely. Chris?
I'm surprised he hasn't done it already. You know, you're chasing the game. You've got to win this game. A draw, yes, it's a nice result by the fans to say we didn't lose, but you're chasing fourth spot, and that is your goal. You've got to try and win this game, and at the minute, it's very easy for them.
It's a very poor touch by Steven Gerrard by his standards, and it's back again with Manchester United. Vidic now hits a high, hopeless ball to the far side of the field. I was just thinking while Alan was commentating, I'm just trying to imagine if you'd been overseas or you hadn't listened to the radio or watched the television or read any newspapers for the last year or so, and you came here and you thought, am I in the right place? This used to be all red. It is all green and gold here these days at Old Trafford. The the protest towards the Glazers. Manchester United, though, poised to go back on top of the Premier League. Still a bit of work to do, though. Carrick on the halfway line. They've been a much better side, though, in the second half. Manchester United. There's been very little threat on Van der Sar's goal. That's why Chris is saying, Chris Waddle, that Benitez surely now has to make a change or two, as Vidic now hits it towards Valencia over on the far side, headed back by Insua to the halfway line to the latest United goal scorer, Park. Now Gary Neville knocking it forward. The chase is on. It's Agger against Valencia, and in the end, it's a goal kick to Liverpool. So we have 23 minutes gone in the second half. In what was described to me this week, I can't claim this as an original, as the debtors' derby, this one. A journalist friend of mine came up with that line, which with these two sides, clubs, so heavily strapped by the debt. Here comes Mascherano now for Liverpool. On to Lucas. Lucas carries the ball over the halfway line and feeds Johnson. Cout wants the ball. Johnson chips it on. Cout heads it neatly now to Steven Gerrard. Gerrard slams the ball right across the 6-yard area, and Ferdinand lifts it to safety. Rooney to try and keep it in front of Mike Phelan down there. He's boxed in, but great body strength from Rooney. Gets away from two Liverpool players, and now Fletcher shows a good turn of pace. Fletcher on the halfway line against Mascherano, and in the end, Mascherano did just enough there to make sure that Fletcher wasn't going any further forward. Given away by Liverpool in midfield. It's all a bit congested in the centre, but now Park wriggles clear and goes down off the ball. The referee waves a play on, though, for advantage for Manchester United. What action will he take when the game stops? Somebody could be in trouble here. It's Cout for Liverpool. Back to Mascherano. Little triangle with Johnson. Chris.
It was Rodriguez who caught him, and it was late, wasn't it? But yeah, it'll be interesting. He's got his eye on him, Howard. Well, he's waiting for the ball to go out, isn't he?
Waiting for the moment, perhaps, as Liverpool lift an innocuous ball into the United half. Vidic is there, cushions the ball on the chest, gives it to Van der Sar, who gets a decent enough clearance away from his penalty area. Lucas jumping in the air with Carrick. Lucas, probably the pick of the Liverpool midfield players so far today. The ball over on the Manchester United right with Valencia. Neat one infield to Park. We're still waiting to see what action, if any, Howard Webb will take against Maxi Rodriguez when the ball goes out of play. Evra to Vidic. It's Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1 here at Old Trafford. Liverpool went in front through Torres, bright and early. United equalised. Rooney with a penalty after Reina made the initial save. And then in the second half, a diving header from Park. Brilliant cross from Darren Fletcher. The ball into the Liverpool half, glanced away by Rooney. Johnson aware that Nani's steaming in, can't give the ball back to Reina. Nani applying the pressure. The ball is out of play now. Howard Webb. Where does he go? What will he do?
He's given a free kick here on Johnson. I've got to say, he's lost his foot and slipped.
And as Maxi Rodriguez escaped.
Yeah.
No action. Is that good refereeing or bad refereeing?
Well, he's forgot all about it, hasn't he? So it's bad refereeing.
It's a free kick to Liverpool. Reina to take it, and we have less than 20 minutes to go here. Torres just looking for crumbs really at the moment to try and get Liverpool back into this game. Clearance by Reina. Quite a few players missed that. Carrick now to clear it, lifts the ball over Rodriguez, and Gary Neville just boots it into the Liverpool half. Carragher should get in against Rooney, but he's got it away from... Carragher has Rooney. Rooney to the far side to Valencia. Valencia squirts it back to Rooney. Rooney trying to skip around the challenges on the edge of the penalty area. Very tight for the England striker. It goes wide to Gary Neville, which was the best that Rooney could do. High ball from Gary Neville. Too high, I think, even for Fletcher at the far post. Cout is going to shadow this one across. And Fletcher does well, manages to keep it in play and find Nani. Nani now to Evra, inside the area. Great block coming in from Jamie Carragher. United still trying to apply the pressure. Now Liverpool can break. Gerrard's ball into Torres. Aquilani's coming on in a moment. Vidic has fouled Torres. And he's going to get, well, a yellow card for that. And remember, Vidic has been sent off in the 3 previous games between these two clubs. He's now halfway to being sent off again.
Well, terrific block by Jamie Carragher. I mean, absolutely fantastic block from Evra's shot. But that was always going to happen. Here comes Aquilani. But Kite, who doesn't look happy, shaking his head.
Now then, they take off a wide player. Maxi Rodriguez, I see, is coming across to the right, or is he just coming across for instruction? Aquilani comes on to give Liverpool a little more creativity.
Gerrard's gone to the left-hand side.
Oh, Babel's coming on too, Chris.
Oh, is he? Right, Gerrard going into midfield. Aquilani's gone up front nearly with Torres. Gerrard's wandering off to that left-hand side.
Is he going to sacrifice one of the two holding midfield players here to allow Babel to come into the game? Anyway, Liverpool trail by 2-1. They have to make the changes here. They've made one. They're about to make a second. It's Mascherano now over on the left-hand side, picking out Agger, the centre-back. It's a bit slow, though, from Liverpool, the build-up. It's back on the halfway line once more. Now Lucas feeds Johnson. Rodriguez available. Johnson feeds Rodriguez. Torres on the edge of the penalty area. So Aquilani's just come on. The ball, Liverpool right-hand side once more. Maxi Rodriguez with the head bandage onto Johnson. Manchester United backing off. Johnson got 2 or 3 United players around him. Nani doesn't get the clearance away. But United now do scramble it out of the penalty area. Rooney comes deep, holds off the challenge from Carragher, and again shows great strength, Rooney, and then with a beautiful ball picks out Gary Neville, the right back, and Neville's got space now to fill down that right-hand side. Valencia on the outside. Park takes over. Park holds. 2-1 to Manchester United, and 15 minutes to go here at Old Trafford. It's Darren Fletcher who did so well for the United second goal. Fletcher moves inside the Liverpool half. Finds Evra near the left-hand side. Back into Fletcher once more. Babel getting final instructions down there from Liverpool as Vidic gives the ball back to his goalkeeper Van der Sar, who really hasn't been called into action much in this second half so far. Poor clearance though by Van der Sar. Equally poor header though. And Lucas apologises, and we have a goal at Fulham against Manchester City. Jackie Oatley.
And City have taken the lead. It was a good shot from Craig Bellamy from just inside the penalty area, deflected onto the right post. Schwarzer could do nothing about it as it dropped to Rocky Santa Cruz to score his 4th goal of the season. Deservedly so. Fulham 0, Man City 1.
Thank you, Jackie. Remember, Manchester City began the day a point behind Liverpool. They're on 50, Liverpool on 51, and Liverpool at the moment are going to stay on 51 unless they can get something in these last 15 minutes. Here, Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1. And a goal at Cardiff. Let's go to John Rawling.
It's Cardiff City 1, Watford 0. The goal coming in the 8th minute. Peter Whittingham's corner, swung across left-footed from the right, and a first-time volley. Brilliant low crack from Ross McCormack. Cardiff ahead 1-0.
Thank you. The last time we heard it was Leicester 2, Coventry 0 in that Midlands derby. Manchester United now with Fletcher. On to Rooney. Rooney faced by Carragher. Here goes Rooney. Rooney goes around Agger. Tries a chip from the edge of the area. And unlike the Clint Dempsey effort the other night, that didn't sit right for him. So that's a goal kick to Liverpool, and Rodriguez coming off, Babel coming on.
Yeah, well, maybe it went with Babel before the game today to get a Gary Neville. Gerrard's playing left-hand side, Aquilani's playing off Torres, Babel on the right now. So there's going to be a lot of gaps here for Manchester United, but you've got to say that Liverpool have got to become more of a threat going forward.
You've talked many times about the potential of Babel, which hasn't been fulfilled yet, Chris. He has been given a few opportunities just lately starting. Let's see what he can do over these 15 minutes here at Old Trafford. He's playing on the right-hand side at the moment as the ball is played forward to Rooney's offside. And free kick to Liverpool. We don't often see Babel on the right, do we?
No, I think he's a talented footballer. I just think he's never had a run. I've got to say, me personally, I don't think he's a Benitez type player. I don't think he likes that type of player.
Long ball into the United defence. Ferdinand and Evra clean up, and now Nani. Not a great first touch from Nani, and then in went Lucas. Ball breaks now to Babel for the first time. He's being forced wide by the United defenders. He stands up, stays on his feet well. There's a United injury, or is it cramp? We'll have to wait and see. And is it Nani who's injured? Or maybe he's got a touch of cramp. We'll wait and see.
I think he'll be okay, I've got to say. I think he's went in very, very heavy. Very heavy on Lucas. And I think maybe it's Lucas's trailing foot what stood on him, rather by accident, by the way, which has made the. I think the tackle was very strong, but I think it was the way Lucas landed on him which hurt him.
Well, it's a chance to bring Giggs on in a moment. I think if Nani has got a problem, there's no need to take any risks with him. Giggs, who's been out, missed 7 games with that arm injury. United give the ball back to Liverpool. I think Giggs is going to be prepared to come on here. So it's 2-1 to Manchester United, and with 13 minutes of the game to go. Agger, who's run a long way with the ball for Liverpool. They're playing from left to right here. Babel's now gone over on the left-hand side of the field. More custom roll. Insua, the Argentine. Insua now, down the Liverpool left. Only Torres in the penalty area. Cross doesn't come in, though. He has another chance here, Insua, but he's tackled by Valencia, and Valencia gets it forward to Park, who turns neatly in midfield. Park now tackled and fouled by Insua. Helped to his feet by Lucas. It has been a scrappy game, really. No great quality, but always bags of interest here between these two. Liverpool can't afford a defeat here. Not with the Tottenham victory yesterday. 4 points behind, level games. They will be 4 points behind, and Spurs will have a game in hand. And remember, Manchester City now leading at Fulham. Long one now for Manchester United. Liverpool must not concede another one. Fletcher controls the ball well. Finds Carrick. He's never very far away from Fletcher, those two. And now Gary Neville. Neville gives it back to Ferdinand, and United can play it back now because they have the lead. Ferdinand now with a long ball which Rooney won't control. Giggs about to come on. Johnson has to clear here against Nani, who could be coming off soon. Giggs is preparing. He'll get a great welcome back into the United side here with 12 minutes to go. It's Ryan Giggs for Nani. What a player to be able to come on at this stage. Ryan Giggs.
Well, nice to see him back in the game. Obviously a big favourite here, great player, great pro. And Nani's put a shift in without really creating a lot. He's put a decent shift in for the team. And you've got to say Ryan Giggs will be looking forward to getting a Glenn Johnson.
A rueful look from Johnson as Giggs comes on. Throw to United. And Evra prepares to take it, and he throws it to Giggs for the first time. Giggs jockeying for possession here with Johnson. Johnson just shoves it out for a throw-in by the corner flag. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1, 5 Live Sport. And United noticeably here just taking their time whenever they can. Here, winding down the clock. Throw-in doesn't come to anything for United. Long clearance by Liverpool. Vidic jumps with Torres. Ball is loose. Now Carrick's tucking in and drives the ball back once more to Van der Sar, who has been a spectator for most of the second half. Love United, hate Glazer is a very subtle banner being raised away to our left. And certainly at least one member of the Glazer family is here today in the director's box away to our left. Now it's Mascherano for Liverpool. All up to them now. Gerrard hits a big long ball forward. Torres a bit isolated. Torres has Ferdinand just backed off there, but he manages to scramble it away in the end. Throw into Liverpool far side. Remember, they've Babel on, they've Aquilani on. Throw to Liverpool, thrown back to Insua. Insua coming forward as much as he can. Aquilani's ball to Babel. Babel doing well here for Liverpool. Babel jumping over the challenge. Torres holds, tries to give it back. It was all a bit intricate for Liverpool there on the edge of the penalty area. They have to be careful here, Liverpool, as they go forward, that they don't get sucked in here by Manchester United, as Rooney goes down the line and is fouled by Johnson. Just a little trip there by Johnson, no more than that, and the free kick is given by Howard Webb.
Didn't touch him. Did not touch him. He was nowhere near Wayne Rooney, and Howard Webb, yet again, has bought it.
And so did the commentator. Because from here, that's how I called it. Anyway, it's Vidic scoops the ball forward. Now that's hopeless ball by Vidic. No way Giggs will get that in the air, and he's appealing for a... Is he appealing for a throw into Manchester United? He's appealing for a Liverpool deflection, and he's got it as well. Throw to Manchester United, leading here by 2-1. Torres has been pretty quiet so far in the second half, and Gerrard too, the two main men for Liverpool. If they're to get back into this game, surely they're the likely two. Long one now from Liverpool out of defence. Vidic is there on the halfway line. Remember, Vidic is on a yellow card now in this match. A number of others as well. Ferdinand slowly knocks again a poor ball. That was lazy from Ferdinand towards Ryan Giggs, and a bit tired as well from Ferdinand. Throw to Manchester United, and we have still 9 minutes to go. Johnson with a Liverpool throw. Johnson's throw towards Steven Gerrard. Still inside the Liverpool half. Mascherano and Gerrard jumping with Park. Park goes to the ground. Rooney now, square ball to Fletcher. Fletcher with good strength onto Rooney. Rooney can't carry forward though. Agger clears. Back again to Ryan Giggs. Giggs ball into the far post. Great header away under pressure by Agger. It'll fall to Valencia though. Manchester United right. Gary Neville's in support if Valencia can see him. Valencia though going past two Liverpool players. Fires the ball though straight at Lucas. And Liverpool hemmed in a bit here, give the ball away. Gary Neville once more going forward down the right. Can't find a colleague. Liverpool clear. Carragher towards Babel. Babel using his height over on the left-hand side. Aquilani trying to settle into the game. Babel again. Lovely first touch on his knee. Babel now brings the ball towards this near side, the Liverpool right. He's held up slightly by Ryan Giggs. Knocks it back to Aquilani. A little give and go from him to Lucas. Lucas, Babel, Aquilani. And now it breaks back to Mascherano, edge of the centre circle. It's Steven Gerrard onto Aquilani. Back again to Gerrard. Liverpool need to get it forward quicker though. Mascherano to Johnson. 2-1 to Manchester United. Johnson moving forward. Torres in the penalty area. Johnson again now finding Mascherano. Mascherano's cross. It looks a bit deep, it is. Poor cross in the end from Mascherano. Back to Leicester, Darren Fletcher.
Goal back for Coventry. Leicester 2, Coventry 1. James McPake, the central defender, with a volley from close range. Andy King had scored both of Leicester's goals in the first half. Leicester 2, Coventry 1.
Thank you very much. Ben Ayoun coming on here for Lucas. That was the first real bit of fluent football for some time from Liverpool.
Yes, first time, a little bit of ambition. Babel involved there, and Aquilani, a little give and goes, and it was a good overlap. Johnson rolled in. Mascherano, and you expect a little bit better quality from the Argentinian.
Now these are the three players you would expect to come on for Liverpool at any stage in a game, I suppose, from the bench. We've got Aquilani, Babel and Benayoun, and we only have about 7 minutes to go. Gary Neville taking his time over this Manchester United throw by the corner flag over on the right-hand side, inside his own defence. Poor throw from Gary Neville. Babel, who's done quite well since he came on. Liverpool don't get it forward, though. Rooney all on his own downfield, and Park stabs a hopeful ball forward. Liverpool now look to Gerrard to beat Fletcher in the air. Hasn't come down on the ground yet for either side. It's Giggs. Giggs wastes the pass, and Manchester United suddenly just lost a little bit of rhythm here, and Liverpool may sense it. There's still time for them. Agger's ball. Babel now looking lively once more on the edge of the United area. Babel trying to turn around Carrick, and still Babel. Babel to Aquilani, bit tight. Aquilani too strong the ball for the first time to Benayoun. He can't control it, and Evra clears, but United are having to retreat here. There's only Rooney downfield, and Carragher takes possession once more. And the United fans urging their team back into the game. They lead 2-1, but these are better moments now for Liverpool. Aquilani seems uncertain whether to go left or right. Finds Insua down the left-hand side. Little flick from Babel, he didn't look, and now Fletcher can escape for Manchester United. Rooney, great tackle by Carragher. But it will fall, nevertheless, to United's left-back in front of us, Patrice Evra. Just over 5 minutes to go. Evra's cross-field pass, poor pass, and there have been quite a few of those in this game from both sides, but particularly most recently from Manchester United. Now Aquilani for United. Aquilani crosses the halfway line and feeds Mascherano. Johnson's in great space in front of us, right-hand side. Here comes Glenn Johnson now for Liverpool. Johnson looking to perhaps play a 1-2 with somebody here. Gerrard's not very far away. It's into Benayoun. Benayoun now for Gerrard. Gerrard holds the ball by the touchline and then skips in field. Gerrard now looking to play it through, but Fletcher's there for Manchester United. But United being forced back at the moment by Liverpool. They lead 2-1, it's out of play, and it's going to be a Liverpool throw.
So Liverpool at the minute, Man United just sitting deep, asking for trouble. There's a lot of space. They get the ball to Rooney and join him quickly.
Best moments of the second half, these for Liverpool. We're going to have another change. Yep. Paul Scholes to come on for Manchester United. So Giggs comes on, and now Scholes about to come on. And look at the time that they're taking here, United, over this free kick, and that's why Howard Webb is gesturing to them to get on with it. Scholes to come on in a moment. Evra now following the free kick into Park. Park, little reverse ball for Rooney. Rooney against Agger. Here comes Rooney with a zigzag run. Rooney in the area. Rooney shot is dragged just wide.
Unfortunately by Wayne Rooney, fantastic bit of skill to get to create the space. He turned Agger inside out, got back onto his right foot. He aims for the far post. It could have been 3-1. He wasn't going to get it in the near post. Reina had that covered.
OK, let's just see who's making way for Scholes. Park, maybe? Yes, it is. It's so he may well have scored the winning goal here, Park Ji-sung, and that's why they're all getting up in front here to give him a standing ovation as he comes off the field. Doesn't score many. I think that was his second Premier League goal of the season, but it could be so important. Could be the goal to take Manchester United back on top of the Premier League.
He's had a good game, scored a goal. You know what you get from Park? A lot of effort, a lot of work rate, puts people under pressure, plays very simple. It's probably a different role. We've seen him play so advanced today because it's at home, and but his energy levels, I think that's why he's always been getting in the team recently.
United win, and it puts the pressure on Chelsea in the 4 o'clock game at Blackburn. Arsenal won yesterday. Remember, Fulham 0, Manchester City 1 as the latest score at Craven Cottage. As now Agger sweeps a high ball forward towards Jarre. Should beat Evra in the air. He got above him but can't find a colleague. And once more the man in yellow has the ball, and it's Edwin van der Sar, the United goalkeeper. We've 3 minutes to go, plus maybe 2 or 3 minutes of added time. 2-1 to Manchester United, who've come from behind, remember, in the game. Torres scoring inside the first 5 minutes, a header. Got it beautifully to head in Count's cross. Now Rooney, who equalised. Rooney this time doesn't find Valencia, and Agger is urged to give it back, and he does. And Reina now, unopposed by anyone from United, under no pressure at all, brings the ball out of his penalty area, and then plays it to Carragher. Time running out for Liverpool. Carragher now for Liverpool. Long one forward. Vidic will get that one, though, under no pressure at all from Babel. And it's Darren Fletcher to Scholes, his first touch since he came on. Scholes to Giggs. Giggs up against Johnson and Babel. Giggs into Rooney. Great first touch from Rooney. Back to Scholes on the halfway line. Scholes sees players available down the right. They've maybe weathered a bit of a storm here, Manchester United, and they're coming forward now to try and finish the game off. 2-1 they lead. Valencia brings the ball in from that far touchline and finds Paul Scholes. Scholes held up though by Mascherano. He needs Fletcher's support and help. Fletcher doesn't get a good touch on the ball, but now Rooney still showing great determination. That's a poor one from Rooney in the end, right-footed. Neither a shot, neither a pass. Aimed towards Giggs initially. Goal kick.
Good player by the two older players who come on when it scores. Steady head, and Giggs don't give the ball away. They know how Man United play. Get it, give it, move. And but I thought he was in caught in two mounds, Wayne Rooney. Was he going to shoot, or was he looking for a pass?
Stays like this, it's increasingly difficult to see Liverpool finish fourth with the games in hand that City have in particular, and Tottenham will remain 4 points clear with a game in hand, and now it's Aquilani for Liverpool. You sensed before this game that they really had to take something from it. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1. Babel now for Liverpool. He's made a bit of a difference, Babel. Babel trying a very ambitious ball forward to Benayoun. United haven't cleared it though, and it's Gerrard now playing a lot down the right-hand side. Gerrard tried to get the early ball in. It ricochets off Evra, but drops to Johnson. Johnson, with no real urgency, knocks it into Gerrard. Now Mascherano can get it in if he wants to. Instead he looks to play it into feet. Gerrard pulls it back, chance for Torres, and he scuffs it, but the header comes in. Oh, it's too soft from Benayoun. Couldn't get any power in the header at all, but that was Liverpool's best moment in the second half, and it was an air kick really from Fernando Torres when you'd have backed him to equalise.
He definitely would have. Well, as soon as it was on the way to him, I thought goal. Evra let Gerrard get in behind him. Terrible defending. I don't know what he was thinking of, Torres. Contact was terrible.
Well, that was the wake-up call, and that's why Sir Alex Ferguson's down there now in the area. He wasn't happy with that. That was a real chance for Liverpool to get back at 2-2. We've got just 10 seconds of normal time to go. Scholes for Manchester United. Great opportunity for Liverpool, and Ferguson shaking his fist at Evra down there, almost letting Liverpool in there as in goes Insua, and out comes a fourth official to indicate 5 minutes of added time.
Well, substitutes, I can't remember. Maxi Rodriguez, I suppose that stoppage has put extra couple of minutes on that, but I can see why Alex Ferguson was disappointed with Evra. He just let Gerrard run in behind him, never tracked him at all.
Well, he's often been happy to see 5 minutes of added time, Sir Alex, but not today. 2-1 to Manchester United. He could do with the final whistle now. That was a great opportunity for Liverpool, and it's a throw into Manchester United, way over on that far side of the field. Gary Neville eventually will take it. Howard Webb indicates to Gary Neville to get on with it. United fans trying to see the team through these last awkward moments. 2-1 they lead. Gary Neville allows the ball to bounce a couple of times and knocks it straight at Agger. Babel tries to clear it, comes straight back again at the Liverpool defenders. Rooney against Carragher. They haven't cleared it yet, Liverpool. Just won't sit on the floor here for Rooney. He's taking the ball towards the corner flag. He goes down under Insua's challenge, looking for a free kick. It's a dive, and it's going to be Liverpool's ball. A throw-in for Insua. Still time for Liverpool to get a result here. They had a fantastic opportunity moments ago. Torres first and then Benayoun. It's a goal kick to Liverpool. Reina hurriedly now retrieving the ball from behind the line to take it. Out comes one of those yellow and gold scarves. And Reina prepares to clear now from left to right for Liverpool. Chris.
Mascherano has been chirping Howard Webb for the last 30-40 seconds, just in his ear, non-stop.
3 successive defeats for United against Liverpool. Sir Alex saying he hid under the pillows for 3 days after the 4-1 defeat here. Well, certain amount of revenge perhaps here today if it stays like this. 2-1 United lead. It could be the goal from Park which is going to settle it and take Manchester United back on top of the Premier League in search of the 19th title to take them ahead of Liverpool, remember. Aquilani, Liverpool have to do it quickly. Agger wide on the left. Agger down that far side. Terrible ball in from Agger. Too high by a mile into the crowd. Those United fans behind Van der Sar's goal. Really disappointing end product there from Liverpool.
Well, just the thing with Liverpool today is the quality in the last third of the pitch. All right, Torres has had a good chance, could have equalised, but apart from that, well, the players have got on the field at the moment as well. I was expecting them really to be creating chance after chance.
Well, they had a decent week coming into this match, Liverpool, with the 2 home wins at Anfield, Portsmouth and Lille. Torres getting a couple of goals in both. He got one here today after 5 minutes. Liverpool leading 1-0, but Rooney's penalty 1-1 half-time, and now in the second half the diving header coming in from Park. He got cut as well, I think, on his head, diving in to get on the end of Fletcher's cross, and that looks like it's going to be the winner here. 2-1 to Manchester United. Scholes now dispossesses Babel over on the far side, and it's out of play for a throw-in. We've seen not a lot really from Torres and Gerrard in this second half. In fact, when we did see Torres, he really should have equalised. By his standards, throw to Manchester United. Don't forget, we have Blackburn and Chelsea coming along at 4 o'clock, just up the road from here. United trying to keep the ball. We've played already 3 minutes of the added 5. Evra running a long way, looking to Giggs. Giggs will try and turn Johnson. It's out of play, and it's going to be a United throw-in. Johnson gets the ball quickly for them. Whether they'll take the throw-in quickly is another matter. Throw into Manchester United. So they've put the pressure on Ancelotti's Chelsea following their European exit to get a victory at Blackburn. Rooney doesn't control it. There may be one more chance for Liverpool. Mascherano, though, holding things up very slowly. Agger, he's been the release man sometimes in this second half. Agger towards the centre circle. Long, hopeful ball forward towards Torres. Out comes Van der Sar. And Vidic only has another minute to survive to avoid being sent off for the 4th game in a row against Liverpool. He's on a yellow card. He just needs to stay out of trouble now.
Well, as I say, it hasn't been a classic, let's be honest. No. So many niggles. The referee hasn't had a good game neither, and there's not many players that had a really outstanding game. They've worked hard. All the players who have put a shift in. Man United have going to say they get the rewards if it stays like this. They've dominated possession, but it's not been a very good game.
No, it hasn't. I absolutely agree. It's not been a classic, but it could be a classic 3 points this for Manchester United in terms of the title race. They've got another decision. They've had most of the decisions really this afternoon here. Howard Webb gives Manchester United a free kick. Torres ironically applauds the decision. Howard Webb speaking to him. He saw him do that. Torres has been wound up really for most of this game. Got a yellow card in the first half. Still speaking, and there's an eyeball to eyeball. Howard Webb and Fernando Torres. The yellow and the green scarves are being waved here. We've played the 5 minutes of added time. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1. The United fans won't care a jot really that it hasn't been a great game. The result is everything for them at this stage of the season. Looks like Park Ji-sung's goal is going to settle this one. It's Michael Carrick now. United just need to hold the ball. They give it to Valencia, who gave Insua a difficult first half. And the ball is out of play, and time is up. Mike Phelan makes the signal. Howard Webb has had a few difficulties out there today, refereeing this game, despite all of his experience. Throw into Liverpool, the final whistle goes, and Manchester United go back on top of the Premier League. They go 2 points clear of Arsenal as a result of a result here today, which is always important to them in any season, particularly when they've just lost 3 times against Liverpool. Today they've come from behind to beat them by 2-1. Chris?
Well, I would probably say Man United dominated possession probably for most of the game. Didn't really create a great deal of chances. They huffed and puffed, but you've got to say it's 3 points, and that's what they're looking for. It's a big mountain to climb to Liverpool now to get that 4th spot. And I think Benitez, for me, has got to be a little bit more ambitious in his team selection if he wants to get that 4th spot.
Well, he's guaranteed 4th spot, but it's a tall order at the moment. So Torres scores for Liverpool. Rooney equalised 1-1 at half-time. The winning goal turned out to be the one from Park, but it wasn't exactly a walk in the park here for Manchester United. It was quite a struggle. It was a turgid game, and as a result, at the end of it, a very important 3 points go Manchester United's way. 2-1, they've won the game.
Thank you very much, Chris. You hinted at the bigger picture there. If you think back to when Sir Alex first walked into Old Trafford, and here we sit talking about the possibility of a record-winning 19th league title for Manchester United, and more importantly, not to compound Liverpool fans' miseries, one more than their most bitter rivals, and that will go a long way to seeing them to it.
Oh, most definitely. Is it? You know, these games of the intensity and the pressure on the two teams and the fans, the atmosphere they generate, you're never really going to see a classic game between these two anymore. And it's just a matter of nicking the points. Man United try to play the way they play, but you could see they were very cautious of the break with Torres and Gerrard playing high up the field. And you've got to look at Liverpool, and they've thought we'll stifle them, we'll play on the counter-attack, that's how we normally beat them. And Man United were aware of it this time, and it was a lot of niggles. The referee, for me, not strong enough in certain parts of the game, and it ran out 2-1 to Man United, and they'll be delighted to take the 3 points, but never a classic.
That's it, never a truer word spoken. Perfect place to leave it. Thank you very much to Mike Allen and Chris. Manchester United once again parked himself at the top of the Premier League. Ji-sung with a second half winner. Let me bring you up to date with all the other football at the moment. 4 o'clock, of course, for Blackburn Rovers against Chelsea. We'll be there for full commentary. Ross Turnbull will start in nets again for Chelsea. Would have thought one of the other two would have been back today, but they're not fit enough, so he'll start in nets for Chelsea away to Blackburn Rovers. Fulham Manchester City kicked off at 3 o'clock, and Ross Roque Santa Cruz the only score so far, as the visitors lead 1-0. 2 games in the Coca-Cola Championship. It looked plain sailing, didn't it, for Leicester City? 2 early goals from Andy King, but James McPake has got one back for Coventry City. We'll go back there soon, no doubt, and have a chat with Darren Fletcher. And Cardiff City at home to Watford. Cardiff, of course, sitting 6th in the Championship in that playoff place. They go a long way to securing it. 1-0 up at the moment early on against Watford. Again, a 3 o'clock kick-off. Ross McCormack with a belter there. You're listening to 5 Live Sport with Colin Murray this Sunday afternoon, and the 3 goals that were scored at Old Trafford, that's £3,000 to Sport Relief. Barclays, the sponsor of the Premier League, have said they'll donate £1,000 to Sport Relief for every goal scored, plus £500 for every shot on target in the Premier League yesterday and today.